great. Let's begin. So,
Awesome.
Okay, great. Welcome to the show Eat with the Owner.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And today is episode 45, I believe. And
It's my lucky number.
45 is a great number. What is that for?
I don't know. It probably it's how old I look, I think. It's not how old I am, but it's my metabolic age.
Okay. And what's your name?
Wassim.
Wassim.
That's right.
And you're born in Montreal, right? Or,
I was born in Lebanon, actually.
you know. So you speak Spanish? The Arabic?
I understand it.
Okay.
I wish I spoke better.
Okay.
I don't speak very well, but I understand it. But I came here when I was almost 2, one and a half.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so I was a baby.
Yeah, that's like almost second generation, right?
I might as well be,
Yeah.
but I have a born in Beirut on my passport, just in case somebody wants to stop me at the border. I have that.
Great, 2 years old. That's I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was 26, I believe. Yeah.
When you're 26, okay.
Yeah, when I was 26 years old.
Where did you come from?
China.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
What part of China?
it's a village in Jiangsu province.
Okay.
The Jiangsu province is the one next to Shanghai. It's a good province.
It's a good province.
Seriously, it's
Yeah.
a top two, I guess, top two
Okay.
economically.
Okay, I see what you mean.
But I'm from a village, so pretty bad place.
Okay, I
But
see.
the city is pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, so
So you grew up in more of like a rural
very
environment?
cool. Yeah, I'm 43 this year, so the time I was born in the village was pretty hard time.
Okay.
Yeah, 1979. That
Wow.
time the village is pretty tough, pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying is I have seen a lot of different style of life, and so want to record stories,
Yeah.
including mine. So,
That's wonderful.
yeah.
How did you? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of steps between the village in a rural village in China to here. But what made you decide to come to Montreal?
It's just when I had an opportunity or chance, it's the best way that time is go to university.
Okay.
For a village boy, the
Sure.
best chance that time around 1997.
Okay.
That time around, it's best way get out of the villages is going to university. After that, the economy was booming that time. So as an engineer, so kind of really high demand. So
Sure.
I went to a really great company that time. So you got all opportunities in front of you. So they sent me overseas, like a business trip. So I went to Egypt, like UK, Brazil,
Okay.
Canada, United States. So I kind of seeing a lot of different outside of the country. So
Yeah. Oh, those are all very
Yeah.
unique, different places, like very different places. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
so after that, when I had the opportunity to stay, immigrate to Canada, so I chose great. I
Okay.
just took the chance.
So you went to university in China,
Yeah.
and then in engineering,
Computer science.
computer science,
Yeah.
and then you were hired by a company in China,
Yeah.
and you were allowed to travel for
Yeah.
the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
They paid me a lot, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So it's every extra day I stay outside of the country, they pay
Yeah.
extra on
Wow.
top of the salary. So
Okay, that's very interesting too, because you said you grew up very, very poor.
yeah.
What did you, with your first big paycheck?
Yeah.
Did you do anything crazy? Did you like?
You're the first one asking that. It's great. Actually,
Because I grew up. I mean, I'm sure I didn't
it
grow up
was shocking.
rural village poor, but
Yeah.
also yeah.
It's shocking. The first paycheck,
Yeah.
it's not paid. They deposit to your bank
Sure.
directly. It's the amount of money is amazing.
Yeah.
Every month they give after tax. They still deposit so much money. At that time was it's too much. So I bought
That's so
two cell phone that time.
Oh,
It's
nice.
still the kind of Nokia was the top brand. Too expensive. I did not choose. I bought a local brand. A
Okay.
pair of cell phone, two of them.
Nice.
One for me, one for my wife. That time was my girlfriend.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
that's
amazing.
the spending on my first salary.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then it was the late '90s.
Yeah.
so
2001.
2001, yeah. So
was
nice
amazing.
flip phone, yeah.
Yeah. It's in Shenzhen that time. Was booming.
Right.
Yeah. All young people, full of young people in Shenzhen.
Okay.
It's a tech city. It's still today, I guess.
Sure.
All the big tech companies in China,
Mhm.
a lot of them in Shenzhen.
Okay.
It's a huge city.
It's wild how China has. I feel like everybody reads this fact on a meme. Has like I don't know how many cities that have over a million,
10 million.
10 million
Yeah, 10
people.
million. Yeah,
Has like
I guess that's
dozens,
a threshold. It's like
Sure.
a threshold of population. One city, if you have more than 10 million people,
Mhm.
it's kind of a mega city, whatever, the big city there.
Okay.
So I guess a lot of them, more than 10. I'm pretty sure more than
Sure.
10 cities has more than 10 million people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shenzhen, I believe, has, when I left, almost 20 million already.
Wow.
That city was developed from a small village, fishing village,
Wow.
because of the openness, the reform opened to the West 1979. So
Okay.
the city was a small village, a fishing village. So the leader at that time just kind of, they had the experiment,
Mhm.
a place to have a tax-free for business to open to the foreign investment.
Okay.
So that's how it started, Shenzhen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
Okay. That sounds very not communist.
not at all. So
Right. Yeah.
That's the reform.
Sure. Sure.
The
Sure.
reform 1978.
This is after Mao.
after more, definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Obviously.
it's the
My time of history is
Yeah.
not very good. I don't know.
it's the really big direction change.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like they adopted the market system, economic system.
Sure.
Economic system.
And is that why the population boomed so much, or was the population growing before that?
Way before.
Okay.
Population grew I guess during Mao time.
Okay.
A lot of people saying Mao was preparing for a huge war with the West or whoever. So he was kind of hoping the more population, more people, more
Okay.
prepared.
Sure. Bigger army.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that time, that's my father's generation.
Sure.
So for that generation, every family, they had 6 kids, very common.
Okay.
Every family.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that time was a big shift from the population. Then my time was, I was born in 79. So around 78, 79. So they saw too many people.
Sure.
So they saw that kind of crisis already. So they kind of 180-degree change
With the
to
one-child policy, right?
That's
Right.
my year.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was 79. So that time I was the 3rd child in the
Okay.
family already. I was not supposed to be born
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You were like secret. They're like.
because my mom told me she was pregnant 6 months already. So I was the last chance.
Okay. So right before
Yeah.
the one child. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Geez, you could have been. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good.
So she was 6 months pregnant with me already.
Okay.
So I was lucky. But a lot of buddies growing up with me, if he is like second child or something,
Mhm.
if little bit younger than me, few months younger than me, so the family had to pay the fine.
Wow. How much was the fine? Do you know?
That time
Like-
is the money there is totally different. I guess
Sure.
it's even 100 RMB could be like 1,000 or even more today.
Okay.
Today's money. So,
Right.
but it's a little bit hefty.
That's pretty devastating
Yeah, yeah.
if you're in a rural
Yeah,
village,
yeah,
I suppose.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Any money. People have no money anyway. So any
Sure.
fine on top of that is a big burden,
Right.
big penalty for the family.
Wow.
Financial.
That's growing up in a rural village in China. What was your day-to-day life like? Are you like farming?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
You
all
know,
the time.
like-
Yeah,
yeah,
It's
like-
like as long as the earliest memory, like my memory, like I was lifting whatever I could lift.
Sure.
Yeah, so everything. Like,
So what kind of did you grow rice? Not to be, I'm assuming
we're
rice.
in the middle. Like if the Shanghai, Jiangsu province is right
Okay.
in the middle. If you talk about north to south,
Yes.
so we grew everything. So the climate was kind of the weather, the temperature wise. It's like we could grow. The summer would be paddy rice,
Okay.
and then the winter would be wheat. So
Okay.
we kind of cover everything. So
Okay.
that's the sad part as well. So
So there's no break.
no break. Seriously, no break. The same land,
Right.
like 2 tons.
Okay. So rice in the summers, wheat in the winters. How
Yeah.
cold are the winters in
That
your
time
part
was
of
pretty
China?
bad. It was minus 10 Celsius.
Really?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
cold? Wow.
So the
Okay.
colder the better for the wheat.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're hibernating during the coldest time.
Okay.
So that when the spring comes, so it's kind of they were right on the floor, the ground,
Mhm.
and then within a week or a few days, it's kind of raised up. very quickly
Interesting.
when it's
Okay.
warming up.
Okay.
But you have to But the knowledge at that time is like even you have a thick snow, it's super helpful to the crops.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the wheat grows, you harvest the wheat, and then you start planting the rice right away.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
It's probably April, May.
Okay.
Probably April, May.
Okay.
And after the May, all the wheat was harvested. So you kind of put the water irrigation or put all into the field right away,
Sure.
and then loosen up, and then all muddy.
Right, because rice fields are like flooded, right?
Yeah,
They're always wet.
Yeah, always wet.
Why is that? I always wonder.
I guess help the root to go, and also it's muddy. You have to loosen up the whole. You actually make the soil into mud.
Okay.
Like this deep, the water cover the
Right.
mud, so
Sure.
it's kind of always get stuck when you stand.
You have to walk in,
Yeah.
it's like quicksand.
Quicksand is like at least this much deep into the mud.
Jeez.
So
Did anyone ever get stuck in a rice field that you had to like?
no, it's kind of very hard to walk, but
Yeah.
so that's why you have very powerful legs, I guess.
Oh yeah, you
It's
got those
kind of-
thick, those thick calves. Yeah.
I guess if there is some athlete, they should train in the
Yeah, in the rice fields.
they can train.
We'll get them out there.
Great, actually, too much talking about.
Speaking of
me.
rice, yeah, exactly.
And we probably order and then we save time. So then
Awesome. Now, I love food, as you could probably tell, but
what kind of Chinese food did you have before?
I think what I'm most familiar is Szechuan
Okay.
style.
Yeah, we are Sichuan Northern. So.
Okay. But I've always been told by, Chinese friends, usually second generation that I grew up with here in Montreal, that like what you'll find in a restaurant is very different what you'll find in someone's house or let's say, back in China.
Yeah.
So how true to this is like dishes that you ate growing up versus something you wanna.
Yeah, actually, majority of them very traditional.
Okay.
dishes. So only a few items are North American, like the top one, General
General
chicken.
Tao, right?
Yeah.
So what is this? This is an American dish, right?
It's American. Totally
Okay.
American.
Okay.
So it's chicken breast. It's very healthy, actually, very good, very tasty.
I do like it, I must say, but I want to try the most unique or interesting things that like.
Okay. But do you prefer like the beef or chicken or shrimp? Some protein you don't eat, or
I love it all. Actually,
But
I love it all. I love it all.
but you eat pork as well?
I do eat pork. Yeah.
It's not the really I know the Muslim or the people from Middle East they don't eat pork.
I wasn't raised religious at all.
Okay.
My family is Muslim, but nobody was. My parents were not religious. And we didn't eat pork. I didn't eat pork growing up because it's not in the culture.
Okay.
Like even Christians in the Middle East. I mean, they don't avoid pork, but it's just not really cooked in any culture. So in Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, other countries, you have a lot of Christians, but there's no pork dishes.
I was in Cairo 2002. I stayed there almost 6 months.
Wow, yeah.
So it's surprising a lot of Christianity there. Christian people living there. And,
It's a misconception. Not a lot of people know. I mean, that's where Christianity comes from, is the Middle East. So a lot of them
it's
stayed.
amazing. That time, 2002, I was there 2002 and beginning 2003.
Wow. Okay.
So that time, there was one shop they sell pork to foreigners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We bought some from there.
I love pork. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's also like with the visa,
Mm-hmm.
you visit Cairo, Egypt, you have a code to buy a case of beer.
Oh,
Certain
really?
duty-free places,
Okay.
duty-free shops.
Okay, like you need something to show that you can buy beer.
Only one. The stamp from the customs. Only one time. You can only buy one time.
Oh, once. Oh, my God.
only one time
Wow.
for your entry.
Oh,
For your entry
geez.
to the country.
You're
Like
saving it for that one night.
yeah,
Yeah.
24 bottles a case.
Oh, okay. All right.
beer.
I guess you could get really
Yeah.
lit up
It's
at 24.
Yeah, it's a really amazing time.
Cairo's a crazy. My mom grew up in Cairo actually, and she said it's like a crazy city. What was that like? Like it's so dense. It's so. How did you find that experience?
It's people really generous, I find.
Okay,
very
yeah.
kind, generous. But after the revolution, I'm not sure. But before was 2003. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very quiet. But maybe we were staying in the nice neighborhood. very, very quiet. A lot of small houses.
Sure.
Like
Okay.
near in the Cairo, like there's probably embassy areas.
Okay.
It's pretty nice.
Because quiet is never a word I've heard associated with Cairo at all.
That area,
I guess that
pretty
it's
good.
a big city, huge city, so
It's
there's going to be
pretty,
pockets, right?
pretty quiet. And
Yeah.
when we walk from the office to where we are living, and you see small houses and then very quiet. And people are living very, very kind of, you see that they have relatively, really kind of great neighborhood. And,
Okay.
and you see even churches for Christian, that's why I thought was Arabic, Muslim most.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's really amazing that time. I was several months there. And we saw the dates tree, the real dates.
Oh yeah.
The dates, like
You just pick, did you
Too
just
tall.
pick
No,
them?
cannot.
Oh, it's
It's
too
too
tall.
tall.
Oh yeah, you gotta like
yeah.
you gotta get those. Yeah, I don't know if those rice caps can get you up the tree. You know? Okay, I love. Let's dive into this. What's your favorite dish? If you have one.
The cumin beef, pretty good.
Okay, human beef. Also Harrison, who connected us. He very good friend. He suggested the cumin beef, and I've had this dish in another restaurant, and I'm very excited. I do love it.
Also, do you want genital chicken? No.
We can
Okay.
do away with that.
Okay.
Let's
Okay,
try to
okay.
be more
Okay.
traditional. Yeah. I was also recommended the twice cooked pork.
Yeah. That one is always good,
Okay.
popular.
Everything looks great. I'm a big fan of ribs, pork ribs with bamboo shoots or sweet and sour pork.
We can try the sweet spicy.
Sweet and sweet
Yeah,
spicy.
we can try
Okay.
that so far. Okay, let me.
Spicy diced chicken. Everything looks amazing.
1 second. Okay. And so far we have 3. You can do one. What else? Do you want this like this one? Green bean is pretty popular.
Okay.
Dry fried green beans.
That looks great.
Want to take this one or this eggplant potato bell pepper?
Oh man, God, that's a tough one. Eggplant, potatoes, and bell peppers.
Hmm.
It's an interesting mix of it. I like that.
That's a classic northern one. Northern dish from northern China.
Okay, let's try that because that
Okay.
seems interesting.
Okay.
I love green beans, but I think I get it.
Okay.
Whereas that,
Okay. So far we have 4. You a big eater?
yeah,
You eat a lot?
I do eat a lot. I don't want to put you out of business here though, because
No, don't worry. We can survive like 10 hundreds of like this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Something else?
Yeah,
you
we
want?
could. What about a fish thing? What kind of fish
Fish,
thing?
you can try, I think the spicy fish fillet,
Okay.
I think is good.
All right. I like that. Just to
Okay.
get a little, get those omega-3s in us. you know?
Okay, great. And the rice as well, for sure, right?
Absolutely.
You
Love
don't drink
rice.
alcohol, do you drink?
Occasionally, but
Not today. but you want.
yeah, maybe not today. Do you usually drink or?
No, I kind of prefer now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
It's
that's good.
no for the video I prefer we drink alcohol to loosen up or whatever.
Oh,
But
okay.
like generally speaking, I don't drink alcohol too much because like in the restaurant business, if you start drinking,
It could
like
lead to
yeah, when the end of night you have a lot of wine there or the alcohol there, and when you have bad business, you just feel not good. So you always drink.
yeah.
It's funny though. It's like always when we have good business, keep me busy. I can lose weight. I'm not very disciplined. But when the business is bad, you're sitting there doing nothing. You just want to eat more, drink more.
Yeah.
it's a double
I think I
negative.
have a similar thing in my life, even though I don't own a restaurant. But yeah, I get you. Yeah, I drink occasionally, but not. I'm trying to cut down because similar reasons.
Okay, great. I will go down to put the order, and then it will keep rolling.
Okay.
And I will be back in a minute or something.
Should I do a monologue or?
Yeah, it's up to you. You're good at that, right?
Not in this scenario. Get me out of here.
Okay. Let me see. It's still loading. So actually, where's my pen? Oh,
no.
anyway, yeah, I lost it.
Oh,
Give me 1 second.
no worries. That's real rock. I stole his pen, by the way. You never have too many pens. Hi. Right on.
What if I
No, thanks so much.
So do you mind tell us how old are you?
35. I just turned 35.
Wow, that's pretty young to me. I'm
2
40.
weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm 43, 35.
We're both old now, man.
Not too bad.
No, it's not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
It's yeah. I feel like as time goes on, they say 40 is the new 30. There's some truth.
Yeah.
It sounds cliche, but there's some truth to I feel like when we were kids,
Yeah.
when you were 40, it's it was a different level of old. Now we're we're
myself, my thinking, I guess, still very pretty young, maybe in my 20s, to be
same
honest.
here. I'm
Very,
6,
very
I
naive.
think, in my head. Yeah, I'm
also
a child.
Yeah, I'm a little bit naive.
Sure.
Even today, the way I do business, the way I think things could go, even this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very kind of naive a lot of times. It's and also I'm learning a lot of stuff. Every day, try to get more information.
Mm-hmm.
That's I always, even probably when I'm 50 years old, probably thinking the same way.
I think so too.
Maybe our generation won't grow up.
No, I don't think so. And the next generation is totally, they have no hope,
Yeah.
I feel.
So I was actually, you were introduced by Harrison, right?
That's right.
You guys do comedy together.
Yeah, we both do stand-up. Harrison's a good friend. Yeah.
How many years have you been doing that?
I've been doing it 10 years now. Almost exactly 10 years.
Are you full time doing this or
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I do some other work, but it's kind of related to comedy, some writing. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because comedy
Voice acting.
it's not easy.
No.
Because one of the guests at the beginning was do you know Monica Hamburg?
Yeah, I know Monica. Yeah.
She's part time. She told me she had to have another full time job and on the side doing the.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very rare that you can make it an actual career. I'm just starting to be able to. I might be homeless in 6 months, so please help me out. If you see me begging outside, maybe throw me some
It's
salt
pretty
and pepper.
hard, but it's a great thing. It's a great treat. Actually, last night I spent 2 hours watching the Kill Tony.
Oh, really? Cool.
Since I guess almost half year I watch every episode
Of Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the guy with cerebral palsy? He's from Montreal. He's a
the
friend of
Canadian
mine.
guy.
Yeah.
Is the guy?
He started with us.
Is the guy with the? Could you say the name again?
His name is Aaron Belil.
Yeah, Bilal.
Yeah. And
he
he
uses the USB, the Bluetooth speaker.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's from Montreal.
Yeah. He started here. He's very new at comedy. Maybe a year.
This guy is next.
He's amazing.
Have you seen last night episode?
I've only saw the clips from his Instagram.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't see the whole episode. But, yeah.
What is the legend lady, the bar, Roseanne Barr?
Sure, Roseanne Barr, yeah.
Yeah, Roseanne Barr on the show, she said this guy is the next level, and she said she offered to mentor him. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he should mentor her.
Yeah,
I think actually.
That guy is
I don't think she's gonna help him out at all. He
he's
doesn't
from
need a
Montreal.
mentor. Yeah.
That guy is he's very natural. It's amazing.
Yeah, very funny.
Only third time last night, and he got the golden ticket also.
Oh no, he's great. I mean, as soon as I saw him, I was like, this guy has if he just keeps doing it, he has so much potential. Very nice guy.
He's
I'm
already
very
a star.
happy.
He's already a star now. No,
Absolutely.
Because like the Kill Tony, they have a golden ticket thing.
Mm-hmm.
So golden ticket obviously mean like anytime you want to be on the show, you can be on the show.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that. I don't really watch it. I only watched it because of him. Really.
Only a few of them, 8 of them before him.
Wow.
Like, he was asking because the Tony Hinchcliffe was last week or whatever, when the second time he was on the show. He promised like, what do you want? He asked him, what do you want? I can give to you.
Wow.
Then this time he did not answer last time. So this time he typed saying like, I want a golden ticket.
Wow.
And on the show. And
That's
then
great.
the Tony just said, okay, you got it. So he was the 9th.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it means like, anytime he's in Austin, he can be on the show all the time.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, no, he's great.
This guy is so natural. He's I don't know, the people with that, maybe that's the beauty of Canada, I guess. When you grew up like handicapped, you still have confidence, everything. He's so natural. His confidence is crazy. It's really
it makes me wish I had cerebral palsy in some way. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of that disease. Yeah, this vocabulary of that disease is out of. But you can tell, like when you have that kind of condition, and then you so confident about whatever you do, whatever you say, it's amazing.
He really doesn't care, which is great.
Exactly.
Which I think is very important for a comedian, and to really not care that early in is a very rare. And
so he's more confident than regular big guys. You know, he's making fun of himself. He's kind of making fun of everybody. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, it was great when he started here, and I was doing shows with him, and he was very hard. I had to follow him a few times, like go after him, and it was very tough because I had to reset the room, and they just saw this very unique, incredible thing, and I'm just a normal. I'm just like, I'm bald, you know, like it's hard to follow.
Right now, it's already like from last night, I guess, already another platform.
Yeah.
Platform already. He's been there, like he got in all kinds of shows, even like Tony Hinchcliffe himself. He said he hung out with him several hours previous night. So they're already in the circle. When you're in the circle, it's kind of a...
Sure. I mean, what he'll probably do now is he'll start opening for some really big acts and then build his thing, and then he'll be able to sell his own tickets and do his own thing. He should definitely not have Roseanne Barr mentor him, though.
I don't know the history of it, but it's like Roseanne Barr is kind of... It's really respecting the business.
No, she's very respected. I'm
he's
just
70
kidding
years
around.
old.
Yeah, she is. She is very respected, but you know, it's just a joke, really.
Yeah, I saw that. It's amazing. This lady,
better than she is. Yeah.
70 years old. She's full of energy. She's crazy. Like still, like you can tell.
It's wild. Ambien will do that. Yeah. But that's really cool. So you're very into stand-up comedy. Like you watch it all the time.
Yeah, I like the funny things. Also, another way of me improve my English.
Sure.
So I always like all the purpose going to improve my English.
That's great. I used to teach English.
Seriously.
And I would usually as an exercise, I would give my students like short clips of comedy or usually episodes of like a TV show like Seinfeld to study and improve their English. So I think it's a great way.
Yeah, it's also when you're interested in things, it's easier. So enjoyable.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like for me, every day in the restaurant, I cut vegetables, doing all this kind of stuff. I listen to podcast. You know, listen to kind of like another one. It's very very rising star. It's the Andrew Schultz. It's crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
Actually, recently, in the pandemic, I listened to a lot of those kind of crazy stuff. Also, like there's a Chris Rock special on the Netflix.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet. But did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've been signed up for the Netflix for 10 years, I guess. Always paying monthly, like even they increase the price.
Yeah.
So I'm always like subscribed to the Netflix. So I saw the news like it's the first time ever live on the Netflix. So the next day, I in the restaurant business, we cannot see that live.
Sure.
But next day, the Sunday night, I believe Sunday night, I watched on Netflix. It's amazing.
Wow, that's cool.
It's like great treat,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just haven't had the time to watch it. Maybe tonight I'm gonna get after it.
Yeah. But like for you, like you always like the comedy, or like you mentioned you're doing this for 10 years.
Yeah, I've always liked it. Since I was a kid. It's not like it wasn't like necessarily a dream of mine as a kid, because I thought as a kid I was like, that's impossible. You can't do that. You have to be some kind of special person or be well connected. Like I thought that was impossible, but I just started doing it. It kind of.
But what made you? When did you make the move? Like the first move, like into kind of on the stage, open mic, whatever. Like what made you to
do it?
Yeah.
I'd always wanted to try it
Mm.
since I was 18, and I even tried to do when I turned 18 and I lived in Montreal, and I tried to get the Comedy Works as a club that burned down a few years ago, but it was like a legendary comedy club here in Montreal. And I tried to do the open mic, but it was intimidating. I was 18. I panicked. I called and like I hung up because I was scared. And like
must be really scary.
It was, and so that didn't happen. But I always wanted to do it. I would go to the club all the time on the weekend and be like, okay, I'm going to do the open mic. And I had a notebook and everything, and I never really did it out of fear. Then when I went to university, I went to McGill, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I moved to South Korea to teach, and I taught English there.
A lot of people following that. I guess at least probably 3 guys on this kind of.
They taught English in Korea?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. At least 3, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some in China too. Some in China.
Sure.
All of them make good money.
It's decent. That was for me being my rich first paycheck. It wasn't much. I mean, it's the salary that people would laugh at here. But for me, like never really having access to a lot of money, and then I worked here minimum wage all the time to have like an actual salary. Like here's $2,000.
It's amazing. And also you have different culture, and you kind of you experience different culture.
It was really cool. That's why I wanted to go. I wanted to travel and get out of Montreal because I'd never really seen anything else. And it was one place where it's like, okay, you can get a job, live decently, and you can still experience a new culture and live. So I lived there for a while. I ended up staying for 4 years.
4 years, So have you picked up some Korean?
조금 할 수 있어요.
Okay.
Yeah, I can speak a little. I lost a lot.
Okay.
After 4 years when I was there, I was okay, not great. Like I could hold a small conversation, basic stuff, nothing like incredible. But my spoken Korean was better than my Arabic for a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, I understand Arabic way better. Like I can watch a movie in Lebanese Arabic and understand 90%, but I can't watch a Korean movie. I need the subtitles.
Okay.
But I could just a little bit. I really liked it, and it was there. There's so many foreigners, so many Americans and Canadians, and there's teachers and military people who work for Samsung and LG. So there's a lot of English speakers in Seoul.
Okay.
And Korean people speak pretty good English because they've invested a lot of money in it.
Chinese too. Like,
Sure.
All the parents spend a lot of money.
Absolutely.
That's why a lot of English teachers like in China.
There's so much. There's so many schools. You know what I mean? Because you want your kid to have more opportunities and be able to whatever field business you conduct it. It's the universal language almost, I guess, in terms of business. But over there, I got an opportunity to do an open mic. There was a small comedy scene, an English comedy scene, obviously, and it was there. It felt a little easier there,
because like your expat there.
Yeah,
so it's kind of more easy, I guess.
Exactly. It was also friends of mine. I had like a friend who was like, "Oh, I do stand-up open mics," and I was like, "Oh, you do it? Okay." It seems, and so he was putting on an open mic. And he was like, "Come try it." And I tried it with a really good friend of mine, and it was okay. I liked it. I really did. It's cliche, but I was like, "Oh, I love this." It was really cool. And then I continued there for a few years, and obviously it's not the ideal situation. I'm performing in bars where people don't care, but that's how you do it. But you love it so much. Like now, I would never do those shows, but then you're so excited to do them, you know. So I continued. Then I moved. After a while, I was like, okay, Montreal. I kind of was home, like a little, just wanted to get out of Korea because I just missed my family and being here. And I wanted to. I was like, I really love comedy. I want to do it more. I still wasn't like, I want to make this a career, but I was like, in Korea, I could do it maybe once a month, twice a month. I was like, I want to do this every weekend. So I moved here, and it was tough, very tough. It is tough. You have to really like, that's the hard part is you can't, because a lot of people are like, oh, this is fun. They do it once or twice, and then they have a hard time getting in because it's always, you're also dealing with a very tight-knit group. And now I understand it because I've been in it for so long. But I persevere. I just kept going. It was tough. Like people are not very friendly. So a lot of people, you know, they don't want any new comedians. You just got to stick with it. And I kept going, and then things kept happening, and I got better, and I got more opportunities, and a lot of good stuff happened, and I'm still here. And now I'm living off of it. So
that's amazing.
That became a goal, and I'm pretty poor, but I'm still living off of it. You know
but my impression, I always like French, like the Montreal, like in the province of Quebec, French very dominant, right? The English, I thought English community or the comedy community is not big, right?
It is not.
So
it's extra hard here, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to leave at some point, but right now, thankfully, I have enough things going on that I can stay in Montreal.
It's like probably you don't need to be more history about.
Greatest time. Thank you. Thank you.
Probably you know a little bit more history about comedy in Montreal. But when I listen to some podcasts of Joe Rogan, even the Dave Chappelle, they start here too. They had a lot of shows, performances in Montreal.
In Montreal, sure, because of the festival, the Just for Laughs festival.
They mention even other clubs as well, whatever. But in their time, like 20-some years ago, like looks like it was a big time. Montreal was a big time.
Absolutely, yeah. It is. It's still the biggest comedy festival in the world, I believe.
But they always mention once in a while. You listen to their kind of memories back to their starting days.
Absolutely.
They always mention Montreal.
Right.
Many times.
Mm-hmm.
So have you noticed it's kind of on the way down? Once in a while, hitting the bottom was way high, right? Like the comedy scene for Montreal.
In Montreal.
Yeah.
I mean, the Just for Laughs festival is not what it used to be. But that's also because time. There's so many reasons that's true.
But we used to have a top time that attract a lot of top tier people.
Absolutely,
right?
We still do, but it's. I mean, also in the past, if you performed at the Just for Laughs festival, let's say 20 years ago or 30 years ago, that was it. It was your career. You have a career. You know, it's like to Kill Tony. You know, like Aaron's golden ticket. Like that's a real golden ticket. This was a golden ticket. Yeah. But now I did it last summer. I did New Faces. So did Harrison. It's good. It's a big deal. I'm very proud. But it didn't. So it's really open any doors. You know?
It looks like the status of Montreal on the comedy scene is kind of a little bit lower than before.
Much lower, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. But there's so many reasons that is. There's so many more comedians now. There's so much more content out there because of the internet, and everything is like at your fingertips.
Yeah. But United States is booming right now.
Sure, absolutely. I think comedy is booming.
Yeah, it's booming.
Absolutely.
Like, especially the new technology. I work in the IT field,
right?
Computer science, like with the podcast, with all kind of easy setup, live streaming.
Yeah,
it's so easy for them to make their names.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of, but you have more people also, more comedians. Also.
Exactly.
But like people like have more audience, like me, like learning English.
Yeah,
I'm falling in love with comedy.
Right. Yeah, no, that's so interesting.
Maybe 30% of the jokes I could not get, but I enjoy the 70%.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good ratio. Same here, honestly. All right, I'm very excited.
Human beef.
Human beef. The twice cooked pork.
No, that's the spare ribs.
Oh, spare ribs. Okay. All right, now, is it weird to eat rice with chopsticks,
Yeah, this is
or
perfect.
is it normal?
We Chinese people, we
You eat rice
everything-
with chopsticks?
Yeah, everything with
Okay,
chopsticks, except the soup.
I've tried, I know. But yeah, because in Korea, rice always with a spoon.
Yeah.
Chopsticks is just for like stuff like grabbing
Spoon
stuff
is
like
easy.
this. Yeah,
We
know,
can
they're-
provide spoon as well. A lot of times.
yeah.
I
But the
would-
rice is stickier too than it is in Korea, so it's easy to grab with.
Yeah. Even with soup, you can use your chopstick. We just pick up the bowl and then we drink off the So very you only need the one tool.
Thank you. Oh man, that's amazing. Big fan of the ribs so far.
I recently kind of follow the comedians in Montreal. There's another guy you were on the podcast with what is it?
Pantelis, yeah.
Pantelis. Is that why is that name? Pantelis.
What's his name? I don't know. Yeah, no, this is.
His podcast is pretty good. I listened several episodes.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good friend.
Yeah, I finished I listened to your podcast. You as a guest on that one, and also the recent 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah. Because in Montreal, it's not so many active podcasts. It's really interesting because I always thought Montreal is mega city. Even in North America, it's a huge city.
Mm-hmm.
So I was expecting more like very active conversations about everything. That's the podcast is about.
You're right. There should be. There's room for it.
I think in comedy, or even outside of comedy, like the ideas, the conversations, supposed to be a lot of podcasts should be active, very active for Montreal English speaking people, I guess.
No, yeah, there's not a lot. You're right.
Yeah,
Pantelis really has the only like regular comedy podcast, and yourself, I guess, right? You're a podcast king now. You know?
Mine is like even my English is not even up to the job.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be. I think this is a cool and unique concept too. You know.
Thank you. Yeah, that's why I guess his social media is kind of big P4H or big H4.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of I follow him as well.
Yeah, no, Pantelis is he's done very well with.
That's his last name?
I think it's his first name. It's a good question. No, I believe it's his first name. Yeah.
I figure he's Greek, right?
He's very Greek.
Yeah.
He's the Greekest man I've ever met.
I think probably Montreal, the comedy probably right now is going up a little bit with the new club called the Third Floor or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
The comedy net is pretty good. I went there 2 times. If I did not have the restaurant, I would have more time to.
Yeah, I guess you work every day. I assume,
Yeah,
right?
every day. Yeah, especially the time like all this, like comedy clubs, like at night. That's our busy time.
Sure.
So it's totally conflict.
Are you open late here? How late do you close?
That's the thing. We always close early at the restaurant.
Okay.
It looks like we don't want to make money.
Why do you close early though? Because sometimes I'm looking for food late and I can never find it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, even before the pandemic, we close at 9:30. That's pretty early for us.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But during the pandemic, we close at 9.
Okay.
We just
That's not too bad.
tired. It's just kind of
Sure.
staff is tired, myself is tired. So
Sure.
if one day if we resume to 9:30 at night, probably means we're doing better. But so far, still we keep it at 9 o'clock.
I mean, it's good too because it keeps out after 9. You're getting mostly drunk, rowdy, annoying people. I imagine, right? You keep out the riffraff when you close early, I think.
But for us, we did see some big changes from bring your own wine.
Mm-hmm.
The first restaurant we had on Côte-Nage, the smaller one, we lost it in a fire. That time we had the bring your own wine license. But since we moved here after the fire 5 years ago, here we inherited the sell alcohol, the license from the previous restaurant on this location.
Okay.
So the change from bring your own wine to sell alcohol, you can see right away the difference. It's before with bring your own wine, you probably get more customers because they order a pad thai noodle with 2 or 3 friends, so they bring their own bottle of wine and even a 6-pack, so they have a good time. But over time, you attract a lot of people. They want to drink instead of the food. They just buy minimum food. Some of them.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
it's crazy people, man.
But naturally, you will see if you have same level of kind of customer base, whatever the same level of quality food or services, you will see much more customers when you have bring your own wine.
Okay.
Will attract more customers.
It's more rare as well, I find. Like less places. Is the license much more expensive? Or?
It's the same price, exactly the same price.
Could you have both?
No, you can't.
Oh, it's one or the other. Okay.
One of them. That's why the police will come in to inspect once a while to see if you sell, you cannot have any bottle without the small tag.
Okay.
So if you bring your own wine, so all the, it's easy for them, it's exclusive for them to check the bottles.
Okay.
For the police. Once a while, they'll come to inspect.
Okay. Then you got to be like, you got to stand up straight.
No, it's for us, it's straightforward. It's very easy. But the big difference we saw after switching is you see much less like the young drunk students.
Yeah.
The college students, some of them they're
the worst.
They really like drinking.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Even like some young girls, like in the Côte-Nage area, like we bring your own wine license, like 4 or 5 young girls from the University of Montreal. You cannot imagine how much wine they can drink. They brought a lot of bottles. And
white wine, I think.
Yeah, and then after that, we lost the chopsticks. Some of them they broke them. Like
they broke these?
Yeah, chopsticks.
How do you break these?
You just snap at them. Yeah, it's very.
It's like plastic.
Yeah. No. At the end of the night, we saw on the floor, in the corner somewhere you don't easily see. You see a lot of half
broken chopsticks.
Yeah,
broken. These guys are...
and even some glasses kind of broken too. You just leave it at the corner.
That's a lot of white wine, I think. Yeah.
And they brought like some of them. If you are friends of 5 students, 10 students, they brought like cases, 24 bottles of beers. It's amazing. But for them,
wild though, because like I love Chinese food. It's not my. I'm never gonna go to a Chinese food and be like, let's get hammered at the Chinese restaurant.
But bring your own wine license is pretty good for business, to be honest. If you want more customers,
could you change yours, or no? Like, would you want to do that? Because now you don't have it, right?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we sell alcohol.
Can you change yours for bring your own wine?
Yeah, you can change. But you lose the other one, yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna lose.
But you don't want to do that because
no. I like it now. Now it's quiet.
Okay, because now your chopsticks aren't broken.
Yeah, it's dining experience. That's what I wanted all the time.
I got
the chaotic. We saw more customers. The chaotic is sometimes once a while you just kind of had enough. One day or one night you feel that's too much headache.
Yeah.
But the next day you feel like still more people.
I see what you mean. It's like a catch-22. I don't know if that's the right term yet. But
it's
too much live, laugh, love. This is amazing. I just wanted to
Thank
say, this is unbelievable. This is my favorite thing so far. The fish. Are these recipes like from your family or like, you know what I mean? Like, is this like grandmama's recipe or is this more of a like general?
It's very general.
Okay.
What we do is very kind of home style Chinese food. It's the easy ones. We don't do the crazy ones showing the craftsman that kind of showcase the knife work. Some stuff is knife work. Then they carve things like with the radish or the carrots,
Sure.
a bird or whatever, the bear, panda.
That's cool, but I don't need to eat a panda necessarily, you know?
So those kind of stuff is high end, and most of the time it's just for show.
Yeah.
But we do is just home style, and you can find the recipe anywhere on the internet, and it's been cooking that way for generations. So there's no secrets. So the way they cook this, cook that, is widely available on the internet. All the recipe, every restaurant does it. It looks like differently.
Yeah.
Depends on the kitchen staff.
Are you a chef yourself?
No, never.
Okay.
I started 9 years ago, so I had my full-time IT job at the time.
Okay.
So on the side, so everything we rely on the staff. But during the pandemic, I was laid off from the IT job. So
Okay.
I only been in the restaurant full-time for 3 years during the pandemic.
Okay.
So the pandemic changed everything. Totally everything for
interesting.
me. Yeah.
So before that, you weren't.
Only the weekend and night. I came
Okay.
here to help, to mostly in the front as a waiter. Because
Okay.
I like talking to customers. That's my thing to get my knowledge about Canada, about Montreal, about United States. You know, I like getting information. That's why I really like staying outside of the China, my original country, to have more information, to improve English, to get information in English, to talk to different people. You know,
Right.
that's my thing. That's why probably when I'm 60 years old, I'm still myself like today.
You're
like
still,
talking
yeah,
to
expanding your horizons.
yeah, exactly. So that's
Good.
that's my my really curious about the ideas from different people. But Lebanon, I had little bit knowledge about Lebanon. It's a very open country, even bilingual. Like a lot of really educated people from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was high quality country. But right now I'm not sure. But used to be really kind of rich or the developed, right? Lebanon was a great place.
Yeah, I think its heyday was like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
They talk about
Have
it.
a lot of engineers, well educated.
Yeah. The problem is the country is just kind of so corrupt, and it's
Yeah.
very much collapsing now, in a literal sense because of all the earthquakes, but also economically, it's completely collapsed. And
The thing I talked to a lot of customers. Even last week, I was talking to people immigrated from Brazil. I've been in Rio de Janeiro for 4 months. I stayed there for a month. It's
Cool.
heaven. The Rio de Janeiro is heaven. But as a country, the economic or how the society is organized, it's not the place you want to raise your family. So I see some customers from Brazil. I spoke with them with kind of some political discussion, like why it's not working the way like Canada or United States. You trust the system, but there they don't trust the system. Even the election last time, right? The president right now,
Bolsonaro,
Luna, whatever, and so it's the people there. They don't trust the election either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really crazy. A lot of people, when they have the opportunity to move out, they move out. People from Argentina the same way. I had the conversation with them, like, do you see the future? Or do you see some room to improve, to make it better? You want to raise your family there.
Yeah.
You feel safe, they have future. But people I spoke to, they all gave up the hope.
Yeah.
They all gave up. They said, it's beyond repair. You just cannot repair.
Yeah.
The people, the mindset, the way, like, they all take advantage of the system. You know, it's like you don't have the mutual trust of the rules. In Canada, United States, or some Western country, at least doesn't matter it's fair or not, but majority of people they still try to believe in the rules. The
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can at least have more faith than you can
exactly.
with a lot of like.
Yeah. Even people not happy here, but still better than the other countries. You know, it's the.
Yeah, I know I'm not gonna get like robbed blind at gunpoint by the government like you would in Lebanon, or like go to the bank and they tell me no, I can't give you any money.
That's why kind of when I get all this information over these years, I find it very fascinating to see different countries reacted to different circumstances or the challenges of the information era. Like you have Twitter, you have TikTok, you have YouTube, the free flow of information. You get overwhelmed by some information is false, some information has purposes, right? So some people try to mislead you.
Sure.
And all that kind of stuff everywhere available. So it depends on which information you want to pick. Sometimes you go into that view, it's crazy view, but in your own view is righteous, but in other people's eyes, crazy, you know.
Yeah.
It's all kind of this, but it's like the Western countries so far, they're in the best position. At least they are not falling, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of other but a lot of other countries in the middle, they got trouble. Like over time, they don't trust this. They got like military involved. They got like corruption. They got everything. The people just don't trust the system anymore. So they chose to leave. In Canada, you see people from all over the world.
Yeah.
The reason you ask them why do you choose to leave your family, leave your own country to move your family to a new country, which is not easy at all. To make a living, to make your education, you know, everything. It's not easy you left your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. So many people do it. So it's a testament to how messed up most of the world is.
Exactly.
And
but some of them you don't see them by themselves. They don't see the room, the possibility to make it pull them into a correct path. To see improvement. They don't see that. They're saying like either staying the same way or getting worse. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I mean, for Lebanon, the large majority of people left. Like there's way more Lebanese people there's more Lebanese people in Brazil than in Lebanon. 15 million people went to South America. So there's a huge population of Lebanese in South America, in Mexico, in Argentina, in Colombia. They all left.
Yeah, some people they have a lot of ideas. They want the country better. They want to say let's put up a system. Everybody follow the rules like that. They had ideas, but over some time they just lost the faith. They said the probably think it's time to move out instead of like putting extra effort or risk a lot of things to make it better, right?
Yeah, it feels hopeless. Sometimes you're like, I mean. From my sister still lives in Lebanon, so to her, from what I gather, most of the people feel completely hopeless. They're not they're trying. There was a little mini revolution and people were protesting, but I'm not sure what exactly has changed. Why did you choose to come to Montreal specifically and not, I don't know, Toronto or New York or what, you know?
That's easy
London
for me. Super easy. I got a job offer here.
Oh, okay.
So it's a cheat, kind of a cheat. So.
Yeah. That's why I went to Korea. Yeah, fair enough. So
your parents still live in Montreal?
My mom lives in Montreal. My father passed away when I was a kid. My sister is the only one who lives in Lebanon. So we immigrated. She's 9 years older than me. So she was 11 or 12. And she didn't really like Canada. She's a very like independently minded person, and she was always very mature for her age, you know. And she just didn't like it. It must have been very jarring. She had all her friends and all this social, and she was just plopped into like this new place where everybody was just so different, and she couldn't relate to anybody. And also, I think kids in the Middle East in general are like very politically minded. They're very aware of what's going on because the political situation is so it's bubbling hot. You know, like you got to know. And kids here have no idea what's happening in the world. So it's so different. So she went back and she's lived in many different places, but she's my connection really there. I have cousins there.
But if she wants to move here, to live here, is that easy? Or
she's a Canadian citizen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I hope she does, because it's really, she's actually visiting right now. She's in New York, but she's coming back to Montreal for a visit. And she's been saying it for years, but she's thinking of leaving. Because like now, not just was it economically collapsing.
That's economic. Every country is collapsing with the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
No country in the world doing well economically. But
this is beyond doing well. Like the currency went like something like 10,000% inflation. Like it used to be 1,000 lira as $1 American. Now it's like 10,000 lira as $1 American.
Because of the pandemic?
No, even before the pandemic. No, because of just. I wish I knew more. I mean, if she could tell you better. Essentially, it would boil down to corruption and the government just robbing the country blind. Like the people in power are just, it's like a mafia controlling the country. You know, they don't. I can't give you more detail than that, but it's just a lot of corruption and the banks were in collusion too. So now what happened is, not only is the currency almost worth nothing, you can't even get money from the bank. The banks don't have liquid currency to give anybody.
Wow.
So if you go to the bank, let's say you have 20,000 in the bank and you go, hey, I want my money out of the bank. No, we can only give you $300 a day.
Is that common every bank or just certain small banks?
Every bank.
In Lebanon today?
In Lebanon today. It's funny. There's people now, there's viral videos, people robbing the bank for their own money.
Jeez.
Yeah, at gunpoint. They're bringing a gun to the bank and say, give me my money. Not give me all your money, give me all of my money. So it's...
Well, it looks like your sister going to make her decision really quick.
I really hope so.
That's why for the smaller countries in this pandemic, because everything is off balance. So in this kind of environment, economic environment, the smaller country could probably much worse, you know. It's not stable, it's everything off balance for the big guys also. But then you are the small guys, then we'll be upside down, I guess. That's why even the inflation of the devaluation of the currency will be crazy. Like what happened in Argentina before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could happen to every small country.
Yeah.
Your system is broken.
Yeah.
You want to buy this, the price will be 5 times or 2 times. But relatively, United States and Canada, even inflation is really bad. But everybody was doing, still doing their things.
Yeah.
But some other smaller countries, people are going to panic a lot.
Yeah, I know.
When you panic, everything is, a lot of people panic.
I know, I think about it a lot. I'm very lucky that my parents brought me here, Like my cousins are in a much tougher spot with much less choice.
That's why maybe your parents at that time, they were living relatively well off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have the resources, you have the chance.
Mm-hmm.
But regular people, they just don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was so super lucky as well. I had the chance. I really jumped. Took the chance. But another thing is like when you growing up here, super young, 2 years old. When you graduate from McGill, did you have any plan to have your life? Sometimes you say, I have to do this or that. Is your career, you said you have a minimum salary. That's really weird because graduation, you probably get a really good job from what you learn. Not
really, unfortunately. I mean, I didn't plan perfect. A lot of little things happened that very much tiny things happened that changed the course of my life a lot. Yeah, the minimum wage was while I was in university. I had a job since really my first job, I was like 11 years old. I used to ref soccer in the summers. Then every summer I would do, under the table. I guess I'm not going to go to jail now, but I worked in warehouses and stuff. And when I was able to legally work at 16, I worked in a Dagwood sandwiches. I don't know.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
know. Yeah, I worked there.
I'm really surprised how they survive because
Dagwood? I don't know, dude. Spiro, dude.
I'm a big fan of Subway, the sandwiches, but I never went to Dagwood. But always Subway is so dominating. Dominating. Now the pandemic can close a lot of them, but before pandemic, I could not figure out why they were existing.
I worked at one and I still don't know. The sandwiches are a little better. It's a little bit fresher. But I don't know. I think it's just he was able to find good locations. That's probably it. And I don't know.
The Subway and also another was the Quintino. What is another brand, right? The
Quiznos, yeah.
Quiznos.
That's dead, right?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
because they were kind of pushed out by the Subway.
Yeah, it wasn't good either.
No, not. I'm not sure the Subway today, but still, if they survive, they are the best still.
I like Subway. I do think Dagwood's is better, but I hold no loyalty to that anymore. Honestly, Subway, I know a lot of people will disagree with me. I like it. It's consistent.
Yeah.
Like for me, if let's say I'm on the road or something, I have a choice between Subway and going to like McDonald's or something. I'm going to go to Subway. You know, it's slightly healthier. It's good. It's delicious. It's consistent.
And also, you know what you expect.
You know what to expect. Yeah, delicious was maybe a very intense word to use. It's fine. You know, it's good. I like a sandwich.
Yeah. I told everybody before, even today, my favorite restaurant is Subway.
Subway?
Yeah, I ate a lot of Subway.
That's good.
But the Dagwoods I never even tried because like you just don't know what's inside.
Sure. I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Probably next time I'll go try.
Yeah.
But I never, you just nobody told you to go inside. It's like there's no commercial about them. There's nothing. They don't show their menu or whatever. It's just not existing. I passed them, saw, oh, this street mall has Dagwood. Another one has one. Even on the St. Catherine a few years ago, there was one. But you just don't feel like going in.
I used to work there.
Oh, really? So you just don't feel like going in because you know Subway too much. You want a sandwich, Subway.
Yeah.
And you even pick like, oh, this onion, whatever, it's you know how they work. And they're not bad. They're not disappointing. So you feel no reason to switch or try.
Yeah. They had one commercial on the radio. You gotta love the Dagwood sandwich. It's the sauce, it's the taste, it's the Dagwood's place. That was their one commercial. I was happy that they didn't come in because it was less work for me when I was an employee making $7.25 an hour or whatever, $7.35.
And for me, it was very straightforward too. When I graduated from computer science, I knew exactly like go to a big company, IT company, and then keep doing there, staying there for 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
You get your salary, you get like save some down payment to buy a condo. That's the plan. I never wanted to do anything other than IT.
Right.
It's we knew the IT gonna give you an okay job.
Yeah.
At least you can raise your family okay.
Yeah.
With the salary. That's why like I find the some young people growing up in Montreal, Canada, they probably they have too many. They don't have pressure financially, so they have a lot of choices in front, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they end up like choose something.
Making dumb choices.
It could not be dumb. It's more interesting choices.
Sure.
For me, it's like it's engineer for all time. Without this mistake opening a restaurant, I would be engineer for all my life.
Sure.
Yeah, IT engineer for all my life. But this one, like 9 years ago, started this small Chinese restaurant, which is a mistake. Even today, I think it's a mistake.
Really?
Yeah. It took me a lot of time.
Sure. So it was just a side business. You were working full-time IT, and
yeah.
this was like a side hustle.
Yeah, side. And then it's kind of inevitable. After some years, you have to make a choice.
Sure.
Unfortunately, pandemic made the choice for me.
I see.
Yeah. Without the pandemic, I had to make a choice at a certain time.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But why do you say it's a mistake? What is it in terms of what?
Because for me, the IT being working for 18, 19 years, I guess that's 18, 19 years, yeah. So it's your career, you can build that career on top of that. it's kind of relatively very stable, and also like you can improve over the time. You worth something, you know, over the years, the experience. You work 20 years, you work, you know, they
Your
value,
salary goes up and
they
whatnot.
value your experience, your knowledge.
Sure.
And also, if you calculate the hourly rate of what you make, or like the, you know, you have vacation here or there, all these kind of benefits, but having a resident is really totally different game. It is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But then
No dental, no
No-
benefits,
no-
nothing. It's all you.
no weekends,
No weekends. Yeah.
no nights.
This is your weekend right now, I
Yeah.
guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I see what you mean. Okay.
And then all the kind of accumulated the experience, the
Yeah.
education, the training, kind of not being used right now.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I look at doing comedy as a mistake too in the same way sometimes. I studied physiology, and I actually was supposed to go into physical therapy,
Okay.
but I went to Lebanon that summer for the first time when I was applying for university. I got accepted into the program. They only take 50 people at McGill. I got accepted. And then I was in Lebanon, and it was 2007. It was a year after. There was a big war in 2006.
The Arabic Spring, what is that? No,
No, it was
not
the Lebanon, Israeli-Lebanese war.
Hezbollah is from there, right?
Yeah, Hezbollah. Yeah, exactly. So it was a war between Hezbollah and the Israeli army, but it spilled over throughout the whole country. And anyway, it's also 2007. So my point of bringing that up is I didn't have internet access when I was in Lebanon. Like,
Okay.
I had one cousin who had internet.
Okay.
So I got an email from McGill saying, you got accepted, you need to take these steps so that we ensure you keep your spot in physical therapy. But I never got the email, and I came back, and they said, we gave up your spot.
Yeah.
You can still come to McGill, but not in physical therapy. So that changed the course of my life. Had that not happened, I guarantee I would never have gone to Korea. I would have never done comedy. I wouldn't be sitting here enjoying this beautiful food, you know. But I'd probably have a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd probably have a lot more money in the bank and be a lot more comfortable with benefits and whatnot. So it's a mistake in that sense, but I ended up going to McGill and I did physiology, which is an undergraduate program. A lot of people do it because they want to go into medicine. I didn't have an interest. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought, okay, I'll do physical therapy, but I want to live.
Okay.
My whole life I was a student and working, you know? My whole life was just work, school until I was like 24. I was like, I want to get out of here and experience the world a little bit. I had a good friend from Korea in university, and he would always talk, oh, Korea's so cool, you got to visit Korea. I was like, okay, I can work there because I didn't have the money to just travel. So I'm like, I can get a job, and then it'll be cool. And then I'll come back, and I'll go back to McGill. That was the plan. And that never happened, right? I loved it so much, and my boss asked me, you want to stay? I kept staying. Discovered comedy, and it ruined my life. And now I'm here. So, excuse me.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sometimes the small decisions just
Like that, right? Yeah.
crossroad. 9 years ago, I started the restaurant with my wife. Like,
Yeah.
no big deal. We close one day, whatever. We try.
Yeah.
Try it out. It's the first business, you know.
Yeah.
It looks like in your life you have to try a business, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. But then, like, once you start it, you don't know how to end. You just don't know how to end.
Yeah, that's relatable, actually.
Yeah. I felt, I guess, 2017 when the small restaurant on the Cotonou Street was lost in a fire. That time, I literally had a chance to close the business once for all. But we have a losing, like many business in Anru. Like we had another restaurant in Anru.
Okay.
So that
Yeah,
time,
too.
that
Wow,
was, that's why the problem is like there was a peak point, high, like really felt like I achieved something in the restaurant. In 2016, we were doing well.
Sure.
So really, the head was, carried away. I was
Sure.
hot-headed. So I kind of opened the second restaurant. We thought we were doing well. So we opened the second one in Anjou, which was a big mistake. So that time was really, people looking at me was kind of smart guy. You have 2 restaurants and have a stable IT job.
Sure.
So that time was kind of, you felt like, I was smart. You felt good about you managing 3 things at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the Anjou one from day one was losing money. Was bad choice because I just could not manage.
Okay.
And then we lost the first one in culinary. That one is relatively it's small, but the sales with that rent was pretty good. When I look back today, that was really good time. But we lost it in a fire. So that time was, if we did not own anybody money that time, so we can simply sell or give away the Anjou one, just close the business.
Okay.
So I focused on my IT job.
Okay.
So 2017. But then a lot of people, but you just don't, from 2014, 17, so 3-4 years. So already people like on that. Some people, we got good amount of good customers.
Sure.
So just you did not feel up, you just did not want to give up the brand, the name.
I see.
Yeah. So we kind of chose to move here, find this location. But that time we were seriously thinking about kind of giving up the restaurant. Yeah. Focus on my IT career.
Interesting.
You have a little bit fun and then forget about it. But then we chose here. And then after 2 or 3 years, the Anjou restaurant was keeping losing money all the time. And when the pandemic happened, I still had the restaurant. When the pandemic started, it was really scary like hell. So we had to, the business bad. We closed that beginning of February, way before the pandemic, a month before, because we saw the job already. In the beginning of February. It was bad already, so it's much worse. So I just closed it, just paying the rent every month. So I was hosting for.
Oh, you were still having to pay the rent?
Yeah.
Okay, right, because I guess your lease was.
Lease were 5 to 10 years.
Oh, jeez.
And really bad. I was really scared.
Jeez. Yeah, but you got someone to take over that lease, or?
Yes, that's the July 2020.
Okay.
Nobody was.
Still a lot of time to be.
But
nervous.
then it's free. Also, I give them several months of rent extra.
Wow.
For them to take over.
Sure.
That's crazy time.
Yeah, you gotta hook them in.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even like if we did not kind of get rid of the Anjou one during the pandemic, we'll be dead so soon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Well, it's good that didn't. That's good.
Yeah. But the pandemic, I lost my IT job, so it's kind of before the pandemic and 1 year or 2 years. That time was really, really tough for me because having the downtown restaurant in Anjou and my IT job. That time I felt the pressure already. I felt like I just could not make it. Could not any profit, gross profit here, downtown one, just to be spent on the loss of Anjou. So that time, 1 or 2 years like that, and also have to keep working the company in IT.
Yeah.
So kind of feel I did not see any hope, any room to improve, to getting better.
Right.
And also I was super tired.
Sure.
Doing 3 things at the same time.
I don't know how you have the energy. I barely had the energy to come here and to just eat Chinese food.
It's really bad.
It's unbelievable.
So that time I was thinking about have to give up something.
Yeah.
Either the business or the IT career. So then the pandemic made the decision right away. So
Gotcha.
So I was forced into this full-time.
Wow. I'm glad you were. It's good food. I'm glad it's around. Where does the name Andai come from? Is that
it's my friend's mom?
Okay.
Yeah. Family name Dai. Dai is it's kind of popular, a family name.
Okay.
So it's kind of these choices I made, small decision led to this crazy stuff. But for you, after the, do you still want at some point you want a career or something?
Not in comedy, you mean?
Yeah, 10 years ago, before you made the decision stay in the comedy?
Yeah, well, I figured I would probably just go back to McGill do a master's in physical therapy, work as a physical therapist. It's still a backup plan if everything fails, you know.
I guess that's a well-paying job, right?
It's pretty good, yeah. It's not bad. I mean, there's room for growth and depends on what you want to make of it. I guess like everything in life, but it's not a phenomenal. It's not like you start at a crazy high salary, you know what I mean? It's not like you're a doctor or anything, but you could land a pretty good job. Right now, I mean, it depends if you talked to me 3 weeks ago, I might feel differently. But right now, I feel like everything's going fine, and I'm going to really try to put more effort.
You went to Florida, you mentioned, right?
I went to Florida. Yeah, that was just a little bit. That wasn't for shows. Not comedy. I was just my girlfriend's family has a condo there, so I went on a little vacation. But
so now you feel very confident.
I wouldn't say I feel very confident ever, but that's probably a good thing. Because it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you trying to improve. I'm just some good things are happening, and I'm gonna start putting a lot more energy into promoting myself online. As you probably saw, I don't really have much of a presence on Instagram or online, but I have a lot of video footage that I record. I've been recording I wish I recorded for a long time, but so I'm gonna start trying to be better with this, you know what I mean? Make short videos.
Is there somebody help you to do the editing, the video?
Yeah,
that's really helpful. I guess.
I'm gonna probably try to hire maybe a student, somebody young who's good and wants to learn and can put in a little bit of time for me, because I'm really not good. I'm 35, but you'd think I'm 65 with how bad I am with technology and stuff. I was late to everything. I got a smartphone only when I moved to Korea in 2012. You know,
that must be a Samsung.
It was LG. LG. Yeah. It was LG. Yeah,
they're not as good as Samsung.
Yeah. No, there's big beefs over there. So I'm late with this stuff, and I didn't. I don't have a very good presence. I don't have a website. There's a lot of stuff I'm very behind on. That's going to be my focus in the bit, and kind of the way you build your brand with your restaurant. As a comedian, you have to build your own brand. I've done none of that. But that's fine. I've been taking the time to just try to get better at the craft itself. You know what I mean? And but now I think it's time to start building a brand and trying to get out of Montreal and tour. I was in Ottawa this weekend doing shows, and it was so nice to just. I was like, okay, I could be doing this more. You know, there's more cities to really. I did a tour of Canada. A few years back before the pandemic. The pandemic killed me too, actually.
Yeah, pandemic pretty tough to brutal to the comedians.
I was ready to quit. I was applying for McGill, and then I don't know. I just felt
the thing is,
don't do it yet.
Too bad. This pandemic.
Yeah.
Some business like the trade is really decimated.
Absolutely.
It's especially the performance. You need to see face-to-face people, you know. That's kind of.
No, I was ready to quit. I really was. I was.
I'm glad you stayed. You know,
I'm glad too. Yeah, we'll see how glad I am in a few years.
Sometimes you have to push. Even for me, I'm not quitting the restaurant business at all. Even it's hard, but I kind of over time you probably figure out, right? With the 3 years experience, I'm more little bit. I know the business a lot more than before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but for the right now, the social media will help you guys a lot.
Yeah.
But do you think the Twitter better or for the comedian or Instagram, which one is better for you guys?
It depends what kind of comedian you are, I guess. Harrison is very on Twitter. He does well. He's very clever. He's a very, very good comedian, but his comedy is tailored very well for Twitter.
But he's healthy one, the clean jokes.
Yes. He's a great joke writer. Harrison is brilliant, actually. He's brilliant. I think he has a very, very, very bright future. I never really enjoyed using Twitter personally, and I never really had success on it. You have to also do it a lot. With social media, I don't know if it's the algorithm or you have to if you want to be successful on Twitter, you have to tweet, I think 4 or 5 times a day minimum.
But do you have to be crazy and outspoken about
No, not necessarily. if you want to be like Harrison, where you're tweeting just jokes, you have to be really good because there's a lot of people doing that, and most of it's bad.
Okay.
So it's a testament to him. It's because he's very good and original and unique that he's been able to do that.
With more videos, like Twitter has, like they're gonna go more videos on Twitter.
Yeah, because I think Instagram is bigger. I think I'd be more tailored to do little short videos on Instagram. I've done very little, but that's going to be my focus. The last few months, I was working on a writing project that took so much of my time. So I didn't have the mental energy to go through videos and make videos. But as of last week, I'm free of that project. So I'm going to use my energy to try to work on that in the next year or so.
That would be amazing, man. It's a great time, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. There's more to come for sure. I just have to stop being a dinosaur, you know, being old school. Where like for a long time, I didn't even have Instagram until right before the pandemic. I went on tour with a very big comic, Sugar Sammy. I don't know if you know Sugar Sammy.
It's a big.
Yeah. So I went on tour with him right 2019, end of 2019. We toured Canada, and that's when I got Instagram. Because I was like, okay, well, I got to start doing something, you know? And I saw that, I was speaking to him and stuff, he's like, you know, you have to have a presence. You can't just be a ghost and expect to have a career, you know? But that's what I did for so long. So then I get Instagram, and I barely use it, and then the pandemic hits, and then that's it. It really took the wind out of my sails. And yeah, now it's time to just either hire somebody. I need a website. I need to do all these things, you know. That's going to be the focus.
Also, more and more people like comedy right now, I guess. Because I feel like if you have more censorship, more suppression, more people are gonna go to comedy.
Sure.
Because comedy, they say things, some easy truth, you know.
Sure.
They laugh about the city stuff happening right now. You have more stuff, more weird, you know, more strange, more absurd. So people are gonna go to comedy to point out the obvious, like, stupid things, you know. And
absolutely.
So it's like right now, it's in the past few years, you see a lot of things like not very logical happening, a lot of crazy stuff happening. So
sure,
the comedy is the place they go to, you know, because they are the last one to point out the obvious crazy stuff, you know, stupidity.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's only expanding. I think.
Yeah,
there's ups and downs with comedy. Historically, like there's a. Oh, thank you. I think I'm gonna be. I'm still eating here, dude. This is so good.
We need to finish everything, I guess.
Oh, no problem, man. I feel like I've eaten more than you, though. I feel like people are watching this guy's.
I watch weight closely every day.
Yeah.
You know, with this meal,
yeah,
probably next 2 or 3 days, I'm not eating anything.
Oh, really? You fast?
Yeah. No, I'm just every day I watch my weight.
Yeah.
To see if I hit this number, I will be very careful next day.
I'm supposed to be on a diet right now, but I'm making.
Yeah, me too.
I'm working with a trainer. I hope he's not watching this.
But as a comedian, you don't have to look very slim. You know,
No.
You know, as long as you have your style, you know, people get used to your style, and you have followings. That would be great.
I just don't want to die when, in 4 years, you know. No, I was much more overweight. I've been also, too, very up and down. I was always in pretty good shape when I was younger. And, when I started comedy, I was in very good shape, actually. And then it ruined my life. But I went years of living the real comedian's life where I...
You socialize a lot, right? have to late night drinking.
It's a lot of drinking.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to drink, but it's easy to get into that.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. You can imagine you finish 10, you know.
Sometimes you finish 1 a.m.
Yeah.
and I'm drinking at the club, and then I keep drinking, and then we go to, you know, me and Harrison would go to Chinatown and go to eat some Chinese food or McDonald's or.
Yeah, you can see the lifestyle. You know, socialize, good buddies, and then finish late.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's why it's more interesting than the guy finished at 9 to 5, and then go back home looking at stare at the wife, you know, something.
Yeah, exactly. Watch TV or whatever.
Watch Netflix and then go to bed. Boring.
That's exactly why I pursued the life I wanted to pursue, because I didn't want that. I didn't want to just, like, when I say it was a mistake and I could be a physical therapist, it's because I'm like, oh, I could have had this amount of money, which when you're in a field like mine where I don't know where my next paycheck's coming from necessarily, or, you know, but I pursued it for that reason. Like, I didn't want just an ordinary life. I feel like there's something more interesting to explore, you know? And I was also lazy. I wanted to drink with my friends and eat Chinese food at 2 a.m., you know? Like, that was actually part of it. So for years I did that, and I was very unhealthy. Like, the pandemic actually helped me a lot, because I got, like... So, like, in 2019, 2020, I was in the worst shape of my life. I was smoking a lot, drinking a lot. I was very overweight. Like I was, like, much heavier than now. And then when the pandemic hit, it was actually great for me mentally. Like, it was actually good for me mentally. It wasn't good for my comedy career, but it was good for me as a person, I think. I lost tons of weight. I quit smoking. I quit drinking. I lost like 65 pounds in the first 6 months.
What made you make that decision? Just like you saw the health advice, like overweight, obesity?
Yeah, it was part of it. No, it wasn't that, because obviously I always knew. I always knew it's not like I was like, what? Being obese is bad? I never knew. It was like, I had time. Like, I wasn't taking care of my health because I was making excuses, and I was doing comedy so much, and it was so associated to these unhealthy things. So I was out when the pandemic hit, I was in Ottawa doing shows, and I'm out every night, and I'm around drinks, and I'm drinking, and I'm eating late. And it was hard to escape that. I wanted to. So it wasn't that I was like all of a sudden seeing that health advice there. It was, I had time. I had nothing to do. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, chain smoke cigarettes with my girlfriend at home, drink beer. Yeah. I was like, okay, we're doing nothing. I'm like, all right, let's clean this up. I don't have to eat this crap, you know. Like, let's clean up the diet and let's.
That's why we lost business restaurant.
Yeah, I know. You want people to like get that sodium in them, you know. But it was good for me. I lost tons of weight, and my girlfriend doesn't drink. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't do these things, you know. So that helped me too. Like, I wasn't around somebody who was encouraging me to, like. I know a lot of couples, like, they started drinking a lot, but that's just not what I would do with her, you know. For me, drinking was like a comedy buddy thing. It was like Friday night, I'm doing shows, I'm getting beers, I'm getting loose. So yeah, it helped a lot, and I lost tons of weight. I've put a lot of it back, but it's okay. Some of it's intentional, but it was tough. Even when stuff opened, because then shows started happening. I kind of went back to my old ways quickly. I was like, oh my God, give me a beer, give me a cigarette. All right, let's go eat, you know? So I gained weight very quickly. Again, when every time things opened, I gained weight. Every time we were in lockdown, I lost weight. It was the opposite of a lot of people. Yeah. Because for me, my weight gain was associated with the lifestyle of being a comic. So, like, you could follow, you know, like the waves and the rises of the viruses. That was like my weight. If you look at my weight app, I have a fitness tracker.
You still have motivation, I guess. You know, when you have more time, you know.
I had more motivation.
Yeah.
Because if I'm drinking till 4 a.m., I'm not gonna get up and go jogging the next day and eat the oatmeal and chicken breast. Like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm hungover. Give me bacon. You know, I'm not staying. So for me, it was like, I was using those things to escape, and it was part of the lifestyle. So once I had nothing, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll live healthy. I want to feel good. I'm not drinking whiskey, playing Xbox till 5 a.m. So it was good. And then again, once everything opened again, I gained a lot of weight, and now I'm still trying to be good. This is for me is like a cheat, But it's been tough balancing being healthy with. Now I'm trying to be more of an adult about it. In the past, I was just like, I want to be a comic because I don't want the traditional life, and I want to be able to party. Now I'm like, I'm done partying. I want to have a real career in comedy. Like, it's time to. Now I'm like, my life's been very different the past year or so, or especially 6 months. Like, I wake up early. I try to write. I try to work. I exercise a lot. I run. I lift weights. Everything from I stopped drinking. That's all amazing. For my mental health, because I really want to do this properly. Like, I want to start acting. I want to start doing stuff that I wasn't doing in the past because I was hungover all the time. Like, that was it. I would drink for a good 3-4 years. Especially in Korea, they drink a lot. So I started picking up that habit. Oh, geez, I broke your chopsticks. I'm so sorry. There it is.
I will get another new pair.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Oh, God, I ruined everything. I would have eaten with the dirty chopsticks, but you gotta look good. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
So Koreans, they drink a lot.
Yeah. A lot, and I enjoyed. I was never a huge drinker before. Like, when I was in university, I was kind of a nerd. I was studying a lot. I wasn't really a big drinker, but that changed over there. People work hard too. They work very hard.
Yeah, they work hard. Like Japanese, Korean, they're very similar.
Very similar. Like
they drink shoju the same like sake.
Exactly.
Shoju is the same thing. They call different names. I guess.
It's very similar.
Yeah, it's 15%, 17%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So easy to go down.
Oh yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Very cheap too.
Yeah, you haven't tried the Chinese liquor yet. It's 50%.
50?
Yeah, 50. Yeah, 50.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, I haven't tried that.
That's why.
You got any? I think I'm ready to ruin my life today, dude. I'm ready to.
That's why Chinese liquor is not so popular, because it's very hard. It's worse than vodka.
Wow.
It just has its own flavor, so it's burning.
Wow.
Only the old generation like that.
Do you serve it here or no?
Yeah, we have the whole bottle here. It's $68, whatever.
Do you ever drink it?
No, I'm not a big fan. The young, myself as a kind of young generation, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just burning. It's not feeling good. For me, the vodka is much better because it's just like a pure alcohol.
Sure.
But the Chinese liquor give you extra. I don't know what's inside.
Yeah.
What's inside? But but the old generation, my parents, my in-laws, they can tell the detail difference for different bottles. Wow. They can say, okay, this one's great. Nothing great about it, but they enjoy this and this is great.
Sure. But they're like, there's this herb in this ginseng or something.
It burns. It's bad. For them, they say, oh, this is great, not even greater. And this is even better, but for us, all bad. But that's why it's not popular. But sake and the soju, it's so easy for people to start with.
It is. It goes down very easy. And they mix it with beer sometimes. Yeah. So beer in Korean is mekju. So you have this culture of like somek, which is you pour a shot of soju in your beer. So now your beer is like, it's like an Irish stout strength,
and whatever. The orange juice too. Sometimes that's a cocktail.
Yeah, there was soju bars where it was like juice and soju, and it just tastes like juice. So you're just drinking these jugs of juice all night, and now you have diabetes and you're drunk, and you're like wired on sugar.
That's my theory, to be honest. Like even our restaurant, the sake is very popular. Yeah, sake is very popular. Everybody likes sake.
I do like sake.
It's very, very. Even myself sometimes it's great. Yeah, but the Chinese liquor is really hard. Yeah, really hard. So Koreans, we call them shoju, but it's kind of, for us, sake is so dominant. So shoju will be on the second place.
Absolutely.
People will overlook the little brother.
I know. But Korea, they always get overshadowed by Japan. But they do a lot of things better.
You have your Korean barbecue, and then that kind of shoju. You can eat a lot, drink a lot.
Mm-hmm. yeah, that was living that life for a lot. It was fun. I don't regret it, but I was drinking a lot in Korea. I miss it, but that was then.
That's why this is that here is boring. All of Asian people, they came here, they said Montreal is so boring, Canada is so boring.
It is. It's true though.
Yeah, don't have their nightlife, right?
No, this place.
The restaurant open everywhere, the street food, everything.
Everything is closed. Yeah. Man, Harrison and I have this conversation a lot because we do shows together. We finish.
Nothing.
So, there's nothing to do. Everything's dead.
Yeah, you're the only one walking in the street.
Absolutely. And it sucks because in Canada, even in North America, Montreal has this reputation of being like this party, crazy city. And it is in a sense. Like people do like to party. People like doing drugs and staying out late. But it's very small pockets that are open. And people usually do it in homes and stuff. And it mostly has that reputation because we have strip clubs where you can touch the strippers. Yeah. Everyone's like, it's a crazy place. But it's like, it's really not. Even the middle of... I remember when I was... I did Just for Laughs last summer. It was like the biggest night of my life. I was so excited. And it was it was at a theater, near Chinatown, Saint Laurent, and, So I finish, and I'm with my family and friends, and I'm like feeling really good. It's maybe 11:30. I was like, let's go eat some Chinese food. Let's celebrate. Nothing's open. It's the middle of summer, July, festivals, people everywhere. Everything's going on. Jazz Fest, Just for Laughs, the Nuit d'Afrique.
2022, last year.
This is this year. It's the middle of summer. There's no pandemic anymore. Not one Chinese restaurant is open. Not one restaurant in the area is open.
No, in our mind, it's still going on.
Yeah, exactly. In your mind,
in Chinese, a lot of Chinese people, they're very cautious.
Sure.
Because what happened in mainland China also.
Fair enough.
So that's probably why they did not provide you the meal.
I guess, yeah. It's still going on. I guess parts of China were still locked down for a while.
No, they just opened up.
Now, yeah. But maybe then.
Yeah. That time was really tight.
Yeah.
The real lockdown. But it just happened in 2023.
Really? That everything's open now?
They opened like too quick, too soon. So end up a lot of tragedy as well. So it's crazy. So it's 180 degrees as well. Okay. So it was like lock you in the apartment. Then next day, everybody in the street. So
interesting. That's so wild how that was here too.
But that time, 2002 summer, even you felt nothing here, but still even the Chinese people living in Montreal, they still have the connection there.
Fair enough.
So mentally, they're still in the
they're still wearing a mask on their brain.
Exactly.
I see what you mean. Do you go back to China often? Or
not really. Before that, maybe every 4 or 5 years, one trip.
Okay.
But I was lucky to beginning of 2019. Yeah. So that February, before the pandemic, I went once with my daughter. So
okay.
But that's already 4 years already.
Sure. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. So you how many kids do you have?
Only one.
Okay.
One daughter. Yeah.
So and do you have family back? Do you have family like cousins and?
I have 2 brothers. Brothers still living with my parents.
Okay.
One is the oldest is still living in the village. When you are like as the child of a growing up child, if you live with your parents, they're still they're not doing very well.
Okay.
My second old brother, he's living in the county, a little bit city-like, so a little bit away, maybe 20 kilometers away from the village. But my oldest brother still living in the village with my parents.
Okay.
So he's not doing well. Let's say that.
Okay.
Every day.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
Your parents are probably not thrilled to see him in the house every day, I guess.
No. But overall, the village is not doing very well. It's still, but it's much better than before. But it was very bad at the beginning. So they're still there.
Okay, that's still fascinating. Sorry, I have more questions about rural life. Were you raising animals as well? So you said rice, wheat, vegetables?
Vegetables. We grow, is the main, the main food we grow is like the wheat and the rice.
Okay.
But there's on the side, you always, depends on the season, you always have the sweet potato and the soybeans and the corn. It depends on the time of the year. So you grew up a little bit some of other plants as well.
Okay.
So was overall, like at the same time, you maybe have two different things,
Sure.
two different plants to grow crops. So the worst is the sweet potato. Sweet potato is the worst because
It's hard to grow?
It's very bad, very, very hard. And it's a huge amount as well because each one weighs like a pound or something.
Sure.
And it's buried. And you have to dig them up.
Dig it up and
And wash
carry
them. Also wash them.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. And they grow a lot.
Okay. Okay, so it's not hard to grow. It's just annoying to take care of and harvest.
Harvest. And then you have, because the fresh one, it does not stay long. The fresh one, so you have to sell them quickly to a local factory, whatever, they make the sweet potato noodle or the powder,
Okay.
a flour of that.
Sure.
Or you want to make a little bit extra money, so you have to dry them, or you do the process.
Okay.
That's like you have easily, like our family, we easily probably 10,000 kilograms of that. So it's like small hill if you put them all together. So when it's fresh, you have to...
You got to move quickly.
Yeah, you move them up, grind them, and then you fill them, so the milk or whatever, then you kind of put them in a plastic sheet in a ditch. You dug a ditch, and then you let them settle down.
Okay.
So the bottom will be the powder thing.
Okay.
And you have to dry them off the water.
Okay.
And then that's whole process is crazy. You have to do it by hand all the time.
Right.
So you have to help your parents, and whoever has, can move, have to help. So it's that's the thing you hate a lot.
No wonder we live in these giant cities where we just order.
Yeah, people are lazy. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I'm tired just you describing that.
Yeah, sweet potato noodle is the worst. Other thing is a little bit easier. You can use a little bit machine.
Yeah.
The rice, everything. And the animal is just like you have pigs. You only have 2 or 3 pigs, whatever, and then the goat, and then ducks. Sometimes they have geese, because geese are too big. Okay. In comparing to chicken or ducks, it's easier to raise. And then the geese, if you have 2 or 3, they always bite people.
They bite people. Yeah, they look vicious.
They're vicious. Okay. They defend the whole yard.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, if you have neighbors come to your...
Oh, God. You got to look out for geese, too?
Yeah. It's you have to fight off them.
No wonder we have TikTok,
So it's chicken's easiest. You just... Whatever.
But you said 2 or 3 pigs?
Yeah.
But, like, once you're slaughtering them for food at some point, right?
It's the main source of income, I guess, at the end of the year. Like
it's pork.
Yeah, it's you sell. Most time you sell.
Like you sell the live pig.
Yeah, live pig to a butcher. Like they sell the meat afterward. But once a while for the Chinese New Year, in the village you have 500 families or 200 families. Some of them are gonna kill their own pig to split between different families. So they're gonna come to say, I'm gonna buy 20 kilo from here, or their legs, whatever. So one family gonna decide, okay, kill 1 pig. Mm-hmm. This year is your family. Another year will be another family.
I see. So it's like your donation for the celebration.
Donation. Oh no, not donation at all.
Oh.
So they have to pay you by either money or some kind of exchange with goods.
So sweet potatoes or something. Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So most of the time, like my family in my maybe 10 years, 12 years staying there, probably we had only 1 year or 2 years. Like it's our pickup.
Gotcha.
Slaughtered. Sometimes, like my parents gonna send me to pick up meat from another family.
I got you.
Yeah, so every year the Chinese New Year, 2 days before the Chinese New Year, so they have to stock up some meat.
Okay. Yeah. But 2 or 3 pigs, I mean,
not much.
It's not much, right?
Not that much. It's because you have leftover food or whatever, and then to kind of feed the pigs. I guess that's why they put like.
That's why they have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they give you extra money or the extra meat.
I see. You feed them off like I don't know, maybe like the sweet potatoes you put dry, you throw them over.
Leftover. Also during the summer when the grass everywhere, you feed them with grass or the other kind of plantation, some other stuff. The kids were sent to the field to collect those things. Yeah. Collect those kind of the leaf plants. like on the ground. So you have to use a poor knife to kind of pick them up and put it in the basket to bring back to feed the pigs.
Okay.
And the feed bugs, the ducks as well. So when it's not busy on the farm, so they're gonna give you another assignment.
Right.
So the parents always keep you busy.
No wonder you left, dude. I get it.
They always keep you busy. So you go to the, you find another vegetables. The vegetable people don't eat. They're kind of really bad taste.
Sure.
And then they feed animals. So we're on different tasks all the time.
It's so like, and is your family still? They're still raising pigs. Like, is your brothers out there cutting up stuff to feed the pigs now? Or?
That's the reform started maybe 10 or 15 years ago with the new leadership or something.
Okay.
So they felt the efficiency of the split the land.
Yeah.
So the little patch of land every family.
Okay.
So it's not efficient because you cannot use the machine it's not the scale. So they kind of look up to the Western way of the farms here. So you have a huge piece of land. So you have the scale, the efficiency there, right?
Sure. So
I guess from that theory or whatever, 10, 15 years ago, they encourage people to sublease their land to one or two big family.
Okay.
So they pay you the rent to use the land.
Okay.
So we don't have any land anymore.
Oh,
so most of them, you just give your maybe 1 acre or 2 acres maximum for one family. So every year, they one big family, they take up all the land for certain regions. So they have a lot of them. So they pay you. It's almost nothing.
Okay.
But you don't need to do anything.
But you can't. So you're not working your land anymore, but you're receiving some money.
Yeah.
But it's enough to live.
Barely, but you always get by doing other things.
Sure.
So that's why the young people, they all go to the city. The migrant workers in the factories.
Okay.
That trend been going on. That was 1994, between 1994 to 1997, when I was in senior high school.
Right.
So my two other brothers, they were like 3-4 years older than me. So they already went to factories in Shanghai, Nanjing area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 30 years like that.
Mm-hmm.
So young people, the money you make doing the farming is not even 1/10 of what you can make in a factory in the city.
Right.
So
which is also not great, I imagine, right? Or
you work like 7 days most of the time.
Oh God.
Yeah. But generations after each generation, probably now it's much better.
Yeah.
Especially the average wages went up a lot.
Okay.
But the problem is also the inflation also. Without the pandemic, also the inflation as well. So the price of everything goes up.
Yeah.
The regular people, you don't feel very good. Even you see economy is booming, but the bottom people you always have the pressure on you.
Right.
But the countryside is always, it's very different. It's you don't have land to do, but the old people like my parents, they just take up. They still have maybe 1 or 2 pigs or whatever kind of them, but most of the time they just don't have anything to do.
Right.
Yeah, they just cook for the family, taking up the grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
But not used to have those kind of farms.
Okay, wow, that's wild. So that small rural way of life is just
it's gone.
It's completely dead, really.
Yeah. But some family, they know each other. The whole village, they will know. Okay, in this village, probably the village is too big. That village, the land is going to be split by 2 or 3 families.
Okay.
So those 2 or 3, so they do all the work on them. They have machines, they have everything.
Okay.
I guess they are the very rich in the village.
Sure, they're like the kind of the landlords almost. Yeah.
But technically, nobody owns any land. A government owns land.
Right.
But they give you the right to use it. Now you can sublease your right of using the land to another family.
I see what you mean. It's like a double lease. Double permission.
Yeah. So you can get some money from them, and then you buy but you're still around your house or whatever. You still have very small, the room size like this. You can grow some basic vegetables
for your own.
Yeah. So you don't have to buy everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you raise some chicken, ducks, so the protein.
Right. But I guess that was my question, because it seems like, a small amount of animals. Like we just ate like 9 animals, right? So like if you're living in the countryside, you only have like 2 or 3 chickens, 2 or 3 pigs. Like how are you? Is your meat coming from another farm or another?
No, it's still like a grocery. You have still grocery.
Okay.
The people
you're going
like,
to a grocery store to get your meat. Maybe.
Even the small, like the village there. Even when I was a kid, you always have a 1 or 2 place grocery. Actually, they were the first the business. They over the time, I guess they became rich too. Because they were 40 years ago, 30 years ago, they were doing that kind of.
Okay.
You just buy you can buy match from them. You can buy the candle, a little bit salt, vinegar. They are the commercial there. They are the business.
And they have meat and vegetables and stuff.
They do.
Yeah,
even today. 20 years ago, it's very commercialized.
Okay.
So,
okay, I see.
Yeah, so because the lamb is very rare, it's very expensive lamb. They always sell lamb and the beef as well.
Sure.
The chicken, ducks, also the pork is more available, like relatively lower price. But the beef, you don't have cattle anymore. I saw only when I was really, really young, we had some cattle, but it's difficult to raise them. Like the cost of feed them.
They eat so much,
yeah,
right?
they eat too much.
Yeah.
And the goat as well, skinny, always skinny.
Sure.
The goat, so not too much meat from them.
Right.
So the lamb and also the beef very expensive, relatively speaking. So, but those shops they always sell them. Also some fruits, apple, orange, the banana, you always have little bit extra money, or you have some festive, or you have gas, you need to buy something.
Did you have any fruit trees on your farm, or do people have a lot like apple trees or something? Or?
That's a little bit more recent. People are getting smart. They're saying like the income from growing wheat or rice not that much. So some of them they kind of grow like fruits as well.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the land especially when the new landlord, so they're gonna use some part of the land to grow this kind of orange or apple, especially apple in our area.
Okay.
Apple is pretty good to grow.
Okay.
Orange, I guess, is a little bit too cold for the orange.
Sure.
But they even have last time I went there, so they plan large land for roses. They grow roses.
Okay, interesting.
And that's part of the way they promote the image of certain area.
Okay.
So that's really fascinating. So they plan as this area to grow like roses, grow another thing, just to be impressive.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so you see a huge sea of roses, sea of another special, not so common plants.
Just to show off.
There's economic reasons as well.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's also like in the grand plan. This place is for this, famous for this place is famous for that.
I see what you mean.
It's really, you will see the planning is everywhere. The top people, whatever, maybe they're not top, but they're one level up then above you, so they plan for you.
Right. Yeah. There's always someone plotting. There's always someone planning.
It's interesting. Oh, we can finish or we cannot?
Sure, yeah. I think I'm just realizing I might have to pay for my parking.
Yeah, you can pay by your phone?
Yeah. I'm just hoping I didn't get a ticket because it's been 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I really hope
that would be expensive.
I hope not.
There's no mercy. There's no mercy from the police.
Se termine dans environ 10 minutes. Wait, what? Does it? I think it finished. My phone is being slow. I hope they're not giving me a ticket right now as my phone is just loading. Is there a toilet back here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Use the bathroom.
You can turn off that.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't hear me peeing. Thanks.
No, you can bring with you just this
Oh,
side.
okay, perfect.
You don't see it's blinking. So
Oh, okay.
it's off. Got parking ready?
Yeah, parking's good. So
Okay. Great. Yeah, you can turn it on there.
sure. Yeah.
I eat a lot.
Yeah, me too.
See the blinking?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're gonna have a lot of videos later on?
I'm gonna try. No, I'm gonna have. I don't know. I'm gonna try. That's me being. That's me giving my future self an excuse to be lazy.
But you only focus on the English, not do you speak French good or?
I'm okay. French comedy is a much more lucrative, a much more
Yeah, that's what Harrison told me.
fruitful. Yeah.
I was really surprised. I thought like all the kind of thing is English dominating.
In Montreal, it's much more in Quebec. It's much more
French.
It's much more French, but it's way better of a career decision if you can speak both languages to be French. And I think the biggest reason that's true is because in Quebec they have this star system that you don't have in the rest of Canada. If you're any kind of artist in Quebec who's like, making any kind of art that represents Quebecois culture,
Okay.
with just being a stand-up comic, a French stand-up comic, you are in Montreal. You are really promoted. You're really given like a pathway to success, because they're kind of like almost this island in North America, this French-speaking island, right? And there's only so much.
Like the precious.
Yeah, and like most people understand English, so yes, they consume comedy and shows from the rest of America and whatever, but when you have something that's distinctly theirs, they really raise it up.
Yeah.
And they love comedy. They use comedians for like a lot of stuff. Like like there's the biggest Occupation Double. It's a huge show. It's like Big Brother kind of stuff. It's like the biggest thing in them. It's a show that nobody would really care about in the English world as much, but because it's Quebecois, it's insane. Every Quebec, I didn't even know what it was because I'm English, but my girlfriend is francophone, and like everybody she knows is like obsessed with this show. It's huge, and they have a comedian who's the host, and you don't have that in Canada, like the rest of Canada. Like you don't have, name whatever English comedian in Montreal or in Canada. You don't have them as the host of like a TV show or something, or as the host of they really are not promoted in the same way. So there's like a star system here, and the problem is the ceiling is Quebec. If you're French, like you go to France, maybe do a tour, that's it. For me, the ceiling is much higher. It's like an infinite ceiling because I can go anywhere, but it's so much harder to make a career here. Yeah, exactly.
I can tell.
Yeah, so
But you have a group of people right now working together, like what is the Pantelis?
Sure. I mean, we're not really working together in a sense that it's very individual. Like stand-up, you have to kind of make it yourself. I mean, it's good if you make friends who help each other along the way, which is always helpful in anything, for sure.
But it's like sometimes I see, if you see the success of Joe Rogan, it's like he's the godfather, he's the mafia. It's totally.
I mean, he's very much so.
Yeah, he's always say he's 75% of Italian, but he's 100% because it's mafia. He's totally godfather. If he himself built a ring of comedians around him, like all promoted by himself, and all they promote each other. So his circle is crazy successful. He's all those people around him, and this guy is so nice to all of them. At the starting point, he was more famous than any of them, but he lifted all of them up. So that's the mafia mindset.
Yeah. No, I gotta get into mafia, dude.
Totally godfather.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Kiss my hand. I help you. Tell me your problem. I help you.
Exactly.
It's
then
like,
you owe him a favor one day. He calls you up at 3 a.m. And you gotta stab someone to death.
Yeah, you see the success of his thing. It is like for the comedian community, it's like this could be copied anywhere, and you have fun anyway. Like comedians, they have much more fun hanging out among themselves, right? They toast each other.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
roast each other, you know. It's
Absolutely. No, there is a.
so the Montreal, I guess probably the similar thing gonna happen sooner or later, or already happened maybe. You know, you have brotherhood or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna kiss Pantelis' ring one day.
Everybody, you know, it's like
Yeah.
contributing to kind of a group. Like more and more people join, it would be
Yeah.
more.
There's definitely strength in numbers for sure. I mean, you meet people that eventually help you in some way. That's why it's good to have networks and connections. You never know where things lead. You know, like you meet somebody that you have a nice conversation with, you do a show with, you never think about again, and then 5 years later, they help you get a huge opportunity or something. Like that's kind of how it works. So definitely within comedy and stand-up, having a network of people is very important. But ultimately what I mean is it's a solo, you're on stage alone, and you have to kind of build your brand alone. That's something you have to figure out. Like you can't rely on other people for help. Because I've had this argument with friends of mine where it's ultimately a solo endeavor. You know, you can't be like, oh, I'm waiting for this person to help me. No, you have to kind of you have to, if they help you, but you have to be helping yourself.
A lot is that sometimes
First.
you can tell their personality, something these people is kind of gonna be really good, you know. The
Like helpful?
Yeah. No, the personality, you know. This guy is really open, you know, really crazy.
Oh, who's going to be a good comedian?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot of them, I think you have to be crazy. I think always people in the show business, like
there's some of it, for sure.
You kind of have to be a little bit crazy to stand out.
I mean, because it's a crazy thing to decide to do with your life,
Yeah.
so you do have to be a little crazy on some
crazy,
level, I think.
And really uncertain about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the restaurant business, okay. As long as you work more hours, more or less you will be fine, you know. But it's like the comedian, if nobody likes you, you know, it doesn't matter you work 25 hours a day, it doesn't help, you know.
Absolutely. No, it's a very good point. No, it's like you have to put in quality time in comedy.
Quality and then your personality, the way you show yourself, you know. Some people is very natural. That's always like when I watch a lot of comedians, like Dave Chappelle is always like the very natural. Yeah. This guy is there's no effort for him. It's just kind of being himself, telling is not exaggerating him for himself, just telling the stories. And it's funny.
He's the natural.
Yeah.
He was a comedian when he was like 14.
Yeah. I heard that story. In Montreal also. He came to Montreal very early.
Yeah, he was a star before he was 20. So he's the most natural probably of all time.
Yeah.
That's so rare.
Yeah. Anytime you when he told stories on stage, it's really kind of just a friend or whatever, and then very entertaining and very thoughtful. This guy has a lot of ideas about all the things happening. So he got really, it's like a thinker, you know. But some people you have to work really hard, but still can achieve something. But some people, they just kind of a talent thing.
Absolutely. No, it's like that in any field, really. And that brings up a good question. People often ask, like, are you born with it or something you work at? Like, especially comedy. It's like, can anybody do it?
But what do you think of yourself? You were writing something, you were like thinking, if I think really hard, I can find something really, really funny.
But once you overthink something, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be some level of... I think there's no clear answer, obviously. Because I actually would argue closer to the side of like anybody could. But of course, the caveat is it will take them so much effort that it's almost impossible. You know? Like a Dave Chappelle, it just pours out of him. You know, where somebody, it might take them 20 years to figure it out. To figure out how to be like decent on stage. And they're probably going to have quit before that. But it's possible.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you really want to invest 20 years of your life to be like, okay?
It's a huge risk.
Yeah, it is. No, it is, for sure. And you always doubt yourself, you know what I mean? I ask myself that too sometimes, because some days everything's flowing and you're on stage, everything feels great, and you finish and you're like, this is it. I feel natural. This feels like what I'm supposed to do.
But
and then other nights you're
after
like,
a few years,
God.
like you're still doing it, you must feel natural already, right?
It always felt a little bit natural. That's why I kept going.
Yeah.
You know. But there's levels. You know. There's like, I feel comfortable on stage, but I'm not Dave Chappelle. Clearly, you know what I mean? Like there's levels of talent and comfortability and who's naturally talented versus who works at it. Like there's always, these things are always constantly changing within you, you know?
Also, as long, you know, a lot of times I have a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
I like a lot of dreams, to be honest. I want to, this is great. I want to learn the things. I want to do the things. But at the end, I still stick to only thing can make a good living, like having a restaurant or having IT. So I have to rely on one. So I'm always do a safe choice.
Yeah.
Playing safe all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, I told everybody I cannot do anything excellent. I cannot achieve because my mindset is safe. It's playing safe, you know. You know, it's doing like I watch comedy, like to improve my English, like do this podcast. I can never expect anything go good because I'm not putting efforts, because I'm not risking anything.
Sure.
So it's always...
It's a smart way to live, though.
Yeah, yeah, it is my survival.
Yeah.
For me, it's always surviving. It's like playing safe. But I expect I could not, you know, I don't expect to... But I enjoy a lot of experience. That's what I kind of...
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I feel like, oh, I am doing okay. Because even I'm not doing great on some things I really like, but I'm okay because I have seen a lot of things, you know. I have listened to a lot of great podcasts or watched a lot of videos, and then doing a okay living with restaurant business.
And you're still doing something you enjoy. Like having this as, let's say this podcast, like having this as a hobby is something you enjoy.
Yeah, it's a hobby for me.
Which is great. And let's say this became some kind of livelihood. It would be less fun. You know, that's the shitty part is, that's something I didn't know. Because I always had the mindset of like playing it safe too. And it was kind of like I said, like a really weird turn that made me, you kind of have to have a really blind leap of faith, which I did. It's like you're climbing a wall. Like that's what I was like, oh, I love this. I like climbing. And then you climb a wall. And then like what happened to me, like let's say before, when the pandemic hit or before, you realize you're like, oh shit.
That's really cliff.
I'm not even near the top and I don't know how to get down. I'm like, there's a lot of anxiety with comedy. Because I'm like, I've invested so much time. I'm 35. I'm not a kid anymore. I've had good things happen, but I'm not where, because you don't start an art going, at least I didn't, and you shouldn't have this mentality of like, I want to be here. Like I'm doing comedy because I want to be famous or rich or do this show. I think that's a bad way to start out. I just was like, this is awesome. I want to do this more. And for me, it's not like I quit. I stopped having a day job because, you know, I was like, I need this to be my only income or I'm making so much money. I was like, I want to have a stop doing a day job so I could focus on this because this is all I like. But then a time comes where you're like, shit, dude, I don't have dental. You know, I need to get I don't know, I haven't been to a dentist since I was 25, you know? And,
but I always admire people taking this kind of risks, you know, dedication, you know, that's, I myself, I cannot do it, but I always admire people doing it, you know, the risky choices and sticking to what they like doing. Yeah. That's amazing. And most probably, if people succeed, all the people successful, they're kind of this kind of people, you know, taking the risks, like sticking to their plan.
Yeah, you do have to take some risk on some level, you know?
And it takes effort because like you have to spend a lot of time, you have to struggle, you know, kind of a lot of time you feel like you failed, you kind of not succeeding, and then you keep doing it. Someday you make it, sometimes you don't make it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's great. It's like I'm always admire people like doing this. It's really amazing. For me, I just cannot do it. I'm too too not so
brave.
Smart.
You're smart.
not so brave.
Sure, but
you know, for the restaurant business, like the pandemic, I literally work probably 100 hours a week.
Yeah,
but I know when I do this, the business will be okay.
Yeah.
It's not high tech, it's not crazy.
Yeah.
If you I put 100 hours a week, I save people on the labor, I save, and then with the revenue and then the cost lowered. So I know at the end of the day, it's supporting the family.
Yeah.
And I wait for the time when the whole environment is getting better. So, the economy, everything back to normal. So probably making a little bit extra.
Mm-hmm.
But at least like if I do a lot of hours, it's not doing great, but it's surviving.
Yeah.
That's my calculation all the time. I'm from a farm, so from a village. So doing the labor thing is not a big deal for me at all. So at the same time, I enjoy a lot of the good videos, good podcasts, like expand my knowledge about a lot of stuff. That's extra bonus for me.
Right.
I always I have AirPod, the first generation or second generation. I also have the Pro, so I got two. I have two wireless AirPods.
So all day or
so the battery is great. So
nice.
So it's always learning stuff.
That's wild.
It's the pandemic is very interesting to me. So even like today, tomorrow, so still have when the business is slow, and I focus on the preparing, and it's amazing. I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of English learning, and the comedy at the same time. I know you, I know Harrison, and it's really good. So far, it's a good balance.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
Right.
Even a lot of hours, but I get something extra. It's like a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it passes the time. I mean, we're surrounded by so much like entertainment now that it's almost hard to escape.
Yeah,
it's like you can't not be entertained. It's great.
It's the YouTube
or it's terrible. I don't know.
The YouTube and the Spotify are amazing.
Yeah,
the amount of information, like all kinds of stuff there, and it just like you need more time. And when you have the time and then you listen to those kind of stuff, it's amazing. It's really a good time for. That's why it's like the social media thing. It's amazing. It's for like as your career probably you put out there. People are gonna listen. People are gonna watch.
Yeah.
It's you consume like I consume like content.
Yeah.
The people finding here, especially I like people from Montreal because I've been living here 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
I always like want to find a lot of interesting things happening on the internet in Montreal.
Right.
So like the internet Montreal is not big,
You're right.
The physical Montreal is huge.
Sure.
But
I think you're absolutely right. In terms of like, there's a big, and I hope to fill that. Yeah. I want to do.
That's why I follow you guys and also listen to the podcast of the Greek guy.
Yeah, Pantelis is really the only one who's got like a Montreal.
The only issue I have is with not easy with the name.
Pantelis?
Yes, the name is too.
You always forget what it is. Yeah,
it's too difficult to pronounce.
That's the Greeks for you. They make everything difficult.
If it's Tom or Bob or Tony, it would be much easier. James.
That is actually you're very right. Like my name is Wassim EL-Mounzer. It's a lot of people panic.
To be honest, your name is easier than
Pantelis.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah,
much easier.
It's 2 syllables, right?
Yeah,
it should be on paper. I think it's easier, but people freak out when they like. Sometimes I'll do a show and people be like, "Oh, what's your Instagram or something?" And then they can never find me. I have to go in their phone and go this. They're like, "Oh, I don't know. It's too complicated of a name. I almost want a stage name. I have to type it for them."
Yeah, some flower. You can do that Mayflower.
Change my name to Mayflower?
Yeah.
It's probably a better name than Wassim EL-Mounzer, honestly. But yeah, Bob would be just Bob the comic. I don't know.
Or Lebanon.
Yeah, just Leb. Just one syllable.
Yeah, there's a Lex Friedman.
I'll be Leb Friedman. Yeah, that won't be confusing. I've thought of it. I've thought of I've actually thought of
a stage name.
Having a stage name because I've noticed that a lot of big comics, their names are.
Sugar Sammy.
It's catchy. Sugar Sammy. It's very quick.
Yeah, very good.
Louis C.K., Chris Rock. Dave Chappelle. It's very
the billboard from Shook Sami is like a Rema Remember, right?
Yes.
That's really catchy, really
It's
good.
great. No, his billboards are great.
Yeah, that's like French English together.
Yeah.
It's great. Anything you want to finish, and then we can wrap this up. I guess it's more than 2 hours. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hours 20 minutes.
Parking out here.
Yeah, I hope like one day I see more and more like comedies from Montreal. I like that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
how many?
There's a lot to explore.
How many like many of the venues right now for it's a Comedy Nest and the third floor. What else like?
Yeah, you have Comedy Nest. You got third floor. You have.
What is the other one?
There's MTL Comedy Club.
Just Montreal Comedy Club?
Yeah. They don't have a venue particularly, but they host a bunch of shows. Every night they have shows.
What is
in different
the Pantelis?
Pantelis? There's the Bordel.
I always heard that, but I
absolutely, I can't believe it.
It's a place.
How amazing that place is! Yes, it's a French comedy club. That's why I didn't mention it when you said that. But absolutely, they have an English night now.
Okay. Because I heard the name on his podcast, I could not catch it because it's the say it again.
Bordel. BORDEL. Yeah.
Or Bordel.
Yes.
That's why every time I'm listening to that, it's very difficult to get the name.
Sure.
Yeah, I know he has he's hosting his own thing.
He's hosting his own thing on Tuesday night.
It's weekly.
It's on Tuesdays.
Okay.
If you can ever make it, if you can ever find somebody to.
Where is that?
It is on
his
Ontario. No, it's a French. It's the best comedy club I've ever seen in my life. Okay. It's a French comedy club on Ontario, just west of Saint Denis.
Oh, that's like
Sanguinet, maybe something like that.
Ontario East.
Ontario East.
Yeah.
And
that corner is near the Metro Saint Laurent, I guess.
Right? Barrie, Saint Laurent.
Laurent,
somewhere. Yeah, in between the two.
Yeah.
And it's They have 2 rooms. They're in French. They're sold out months in advance.
Okay.
Like it's a world-class comedy club. And now Pantelis has started a Tuesday night.
So his
English. His show.
Wow.
And it's great. And it's just such a nice atmosphere, and there's something about the room. Also, French.
How many seats there? How many seats?
There's 2. The first room they had, I think, seats about 100. I could be wrong. Maybe 130.
That's bigger than the Comedy Nest. Comedy Nest
is 140 actually.
What, 140?
Yeah, it seems smaller, but it's
Oh, I went there twice. I thought it was like around 60, 70.
I could be wrong. The Bordel might be less than 100 actually. I'm not good with estimating numbers, but it's something.
So they sit the people.
Sure. They can cram a good amount of people in there. But great show. I would recommend that as one to see if you're ever on a Tuesday night. But you close at 9. But I assume you keep working till what time do you finish working?
I can leave early, to be honest. Sometimes I can leave at 8 o'clock because Saturday night sometimes I have a local soccer team. I have to play with them because I organize the team
on Saturdays.
Yeah, Saturday night. Like they start 9, but I can make it at 9:30.
Okay.
I always late, but that's the best I could do.
Where do you play?
It's Lachine.
In Lachine at the soccer plex.
Yeah.
I was a soccer player all my life.
Yeah.
I used to go to school and play at Lachine every day.
We play there in the winter. We always play there.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
They're gonna demolish the building.
I heard.
Yeah, it's really next winter we don't know where. But they're supposed to demolish the building last winter, but they kept it maybe. But this year they said they definitely gonna bomb that place.
They're gonna bomb it. Yeah, it's gonna be Beirut, dude. Yeah, that's wild. That was like such a fundamental place of my childhood. I used to play there all the time. But the Bordel is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 9:15. So if you can get off early.
15.
I stuff my face continuously.
That's amazing. So they have Comedy Nest. Comedy Nest is always there. Comedy Nest is a nice place.
Comedy Nest is great. Love the Comedy Nest. They're open every night, really. Every night except Sunday, Monday. Sunday they have shows sometimes.
I went to see last time it was Derek Sigan, I guess.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, Derek Sigan, and another one was I don't remember. But it's the problem for me is like some jokes I get. On TV, sometimes I get 70, 80, or 90 even %.
Mm-hmm.
But on the live on the side, probably only 60%, to be honest.
Well, yeah. Well, Derek is a tough one too because he's got the
accent.
He's barely English, so.
Yeah. So sometimes the fine is
he's learning English too, so so it's gotta be tough. But Derek's very funny.
I heard him on the CBC debate or some.
Oh, debaters.
Debaters. That was amazing. Back in the days, I was listening to CBC to learn English. I listened a lot of the debate in the afternoon about 2 or 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 12. After my lunch break, I was listening on the app on the computer, on the website.
Okay.
So I always listen to the debater.
That's so interesting. I've never actually listened to the debaters.
Was really amazing.
No, I know.
People really like 2 or 3 guys there. There's a lady or whatever, and then they're kind of telling the jokes. Like that was really first class. I think was really good.
That's cool.
So I knew his name from then, like 10 years ago, like when I was still in the office.
Okay. That's really cool. Derek is a good friend, and he's one of the funniest comedians I've ever seen and worked with. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, last time I was just sitting like 2 meters from him on the stage. I was by myself after the war. It was really a little bit embarrassing. I was sitting there alone by myself, like eating nachos.
No shame in that, bro. That's great.
Yeah,
this is so good. I can't believe I'm still eating. We've been eating for so long.
I finished the twice pork.
Okay.
That one is always my favorite.
This is so good.
Yeah, it's the eggplant little bell pepper.
So good.
I always recommend people this one.
Yeah.
The eggplant little bell pepper.
Amazing. Unbelievable.
That's why we want to have like the traditional Chinese food.
Yeah.
But our customer base is not big because some people they're gonna feel really surprised by it's sometimes greasy, oily, whatever.
Sure.
You know, people saying, "Oh, it's not a good restaurant." Some people, but once in a while you will see some. I guess yesterday or the day before, there are 3 guys, actually 2 guys, 1 girl. They came here off the cell phone. They told me already. I know what to order. 3 people ordered 6 dishes, all of them intestines, twice cooked pork, and a spicy diced chicken with the bones. I always warn people, customer about the bones and deep fried and spicy. So they ordered 6 for 3 people. I told them, "Is that too much?" They said, No, it's okay. We came here. I watched all your videos. Like the other guy told me he watched a lot of my videos explaining every dish. So 6 dishes. Like they like all the traditional crazy dishes.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So the guy, the woman or the guy said another guy was kind of went on vacation or whatever, spent some time in France. He's from France. So he came here like 3 friends meeting together. First meal in Montreal, they have to eat the traditional Chinese food here.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I told them, you are the best customers. I want to build
right.
In 10 years, we will have a lot of customers like you guys. You know?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm super patient, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even a lot of people don't like us or like they feel like we are mediocre or whatever. But like I'm super patient. Like after a few years, the people they really like us. They like us. We just build a little bit more and more. So I told the 3 of them, like in 10 years, we'll have a lot of you guys.
That's awesome. See, I like that. You're building. You're already building. You got a business mindset. I need that. I need your
really patient.
I need you to help me.
I'm really patient because like I just cannot expect a lot of people like us. If you compare to the other traditional Chinese dish, the restaurant, they do only Chinese customers. We are nothing to them. They will feel like you are too basic. For the other 2 or 3 probably in Montreal. They focus on the Chinese customers, so they have to do crazy dishes.
I see what you mean.
Traditional. But when they look at our menu, it's too simple for them.
Okay.
So we cannot attract a lot of Chinese customers because they think we are home style.
I see what you mean.
Too simple.
Okay.
Too easy. And then
I see.
For the local people, like the guys not Chinese, so they expose only to Cantonese chow mein,
sure,
the genital chicken, orange beef, those kind of stuff. They see our menu, majority of them like crazy dishes. Like
okay, so you guys are somewhere in between.
Yeah, we are the middle guy. we are.
This is for people like me that like this.
Yeah, young. Also, especially a lot of young people. They want to give a try.
Yeah.
To the new stuff. So we are in the really middle from the day one. That's my idea. But this group of the people in the middle, young, and they want to adapt. They want to try. And this customer base we have to build one by one to do it slowly and properly.
Sure.
So I was never rushing, never. Only one mistake is like expanded to the en route. That's the biggest business ever. So we
got to make mistakes to learn, though, right?
We learned that lesson. So we're doing slowly. Even today, we are short staffed, but we scale down. Since like the second year into the pandemic, or to last year, this year, we always scale down. If we cannot do it, we don't do it. It's the super patient because we want to really do it properly and then do the things we like. The dishes, even it's simple. That's why at the beginning of this downtown location, I guess customers was 50% Chinese customers, 50%. And when the pandemic came, the Chinese people really careful for the virus. They really extra cautious.
Sure.
So we lost them almost right away. So who supported us is the local people, local customers. They were a little bit more brave, I guess.
They still, or careless.
They still came out to order the takeout,
Yeah.
But now I guess it's 80% like local customer, everybody else. Only 20% Chinese customers, I guess, right now.
But you have a lot. Yeah, you have a lot of students, Concordia students area.
On the price, on the meal itself, the traditional, like not too crazy. I guess it's not appealing to a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. For the lunch, the price, a lot of them combos here or there, the little bit less expensive, so quick as well for them. So the lunch we never do well. For the evening and for some Chinese, they want to have real crazy dishes. We don't offer it.
Sure. Yeah. Like for example, like you talking organs and stuff like that.
Not organs. One thing all of them do is the roast fish.
Okay.
That's average on our the menu average price for the dish is about $14.
Okay.
That one, the fish probably $35.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like a big item. You have to have that crazy item to attract them. So it's like the whole fish.
Okay.
And you have to do the all spice, different stuff, stuffed inside, put on the bottom, and then you roast, and there's a little bit broth, whatever the sauce around it. And you see it's a big whole fish.
Okay.
And it's cost $35 or even $40.
Okay.
So a lot of customers, they feel like it's a great restaurant.
I see.
You have specialty.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have no specialty. A lot of people ask, even a lot of customers, what's the specialty? I every time tell them we don't have specialty. We treat everybody equal. We are socialists.
Sure.
So equal, it's an equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Equal outcome.
It's all good.
Yeah, we try our best. We don't treat this one, prefer this one over another dish. We try our best on everyone. But overall, it's not that great.
Every one of our dishes is all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's my philosophy.
No, I like it. These are great. It's amazing.
I'm super patient. But then it's the same thing like a comedy career. If you wait too long, too patient, maybe you're not breaking out, right? It's my business too. After 10 years, if you see me, I'm still doing, washing dishes, cutting budget. I'm still not making a good restaurant, I'm super patient. Sometimes, you pass your chance sometimes,
Yeah.
Not too aggressive. The people want, some people, they aggressive, they make success.
Yeah.
I'm not aggressive at all. I'm just I just do my hours, believing my little bit philosophy.
Yeah. No, that's how I've been really. Like I said with comedy, that's why I've not put much out there. But
sometimes you have to be.
No, you gotta
thinking hard. Once in a while, I'm gonna go sit in front of my laptop to see. Let's see what's going on in the restaurant. Like which area I can improve. Yeah, I'm not too lazy. Sometimes I'm not saying we stay where we are right now. I'm still thinking sometimes how to make the restaurant a lot better. It's like sitting in front of the laptop to see this area, how to attract more customers, how to improve it. I do that sometimes. But some people that you see like, you're shooting videos and then you waste your energy. You're not focused 100% on the restaurant business.
That's part of it, though. No.
Yeah, I'm all of the places. Even when I'm tired, I just want to watch YouTube videos. To be honest,
that's my favorite thing in the world.
I'm lazy too sometimes, but then if you ask me to cut vegetables 12 hours a day, I'm really happy. Simple, easy, and I'm giving a task to myself, and then it's kind of easy to do, to follow.
Sure.
Yeah. And then relaxing. Doing the labor thing is very relaxing. When I'm doing the taxing, like collect all the things, numbers to the accountant, that's most tormenting.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it's crazy for me. But if you ask me to do the labor thing, it's very, very relaxing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's something meditative about doing kind of laborious work. I did landscaping for a long time, just simple garden tasks. And it was hard on the body. When it was hot, it was really bad. But when the weather was nice, it's very meditative. You put on a podcast, and it really passes the time, and you're like kind of focused. You're like, yeah.
I'm right now at this stage. I really try to make the restaurant business okay. Really try to find a way to make it better. I'm 100% committed now. Before I was, weighing which way I go, IT or the restaurant. Now I'm 100% on the.
I know what you mean. You had one foot in, one foot out, as they say. Yeah, and that's how I felt about comedy.
Yeah. Now
once the pandemic, for the last 3 years, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
So we're on the same path,
Yeah, I do feel that.
Yeah, we're on the same path.
My foot I'm lifting my foot to put it in the it's still moving, but no, I'm.
Yeah, I hope both of us can be successful, more successful than today.
I agree.
Every day better than yesterday.
Every day better than yesterday. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I wish you a lot of success. Thanks for having me on. It was, we got through it all, man. Yeah. I had faith. I can eat a lot, and I'm impressed.
I don't want to, every time with the dinner with friends, family dinner, whatever, I'm the last one to clean up everything.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older. I was very aggressive 10 years ago.
Sure.
I finished everything.
Yeah.
Now I know at my limit. Some Christmas party at home, we closed one day. 2 families came to our house. I was not doing it. No, I know
you're retired from the game.
Yeah. But before, it's when I was 10 years ago. I never leave any food on the table.
Same here.
Great, man. Anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
Come to this restaurant. Come to Anta. It's amazing. Have the cumin beef. Have the fish. That fish we had.
Spicy fish fillet.
That's amazing. If you like comedy, you like food, that's better than any joke you're ever going to hear, I think, that fish fillet. And come to the Bordel, the Comedy Nest, MTL Comedy Club, watch comedy.
I will put some the links to the...
Follow me on Instagram. Be my 10th Instagram follower.
It would be great. You guys, as long as you kind of set out things to do, the plan, it would be even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The social media is the future. It's happening, not the future. It's happening already.
It's the past 8 years that I've not been.
Yeah.
But whatever, no problem. I was doing what I had to do.
Never too late to start.
No, absolutely. I was focusing on trying to be a good comic, and now I feel like I'm a mediocre comic. But I'll be
great already.
But I'll be the focus will definitely be putting content out for the next little while. So
we always need to focus.
There.
Great, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.